Hi, I'm Jeremy. This is Final Show Films. We do actual plays and sometimes some other stuff if we remember to do them within the last year and a half, 2 years or so. Critical thinking. Anyways, we are very appreciative for all of our viewers, and we have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/fsfilms. Give us money. We like having money. We want you to give us the money because that would be good. Like our $25 supporters, Samantha Bates, Droving Alexander, Catwater, Flame, and L. Something about sit back, relax, and enjoy something. Here we go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Final Show Films. I'm Sen, your game master for the evening, who's just gone to a really chill place for no reason.
I was gonna say,
an edible finally hit me.
I wish, my back hurts. I am Sen, your game master for the evening, and I am joined, as ever, by Nikki.
Hi everybody, it's me, Nikki. I'll be playing Scuzz, your Goblin Brogue. 1. Hey Sin, the overlay looks great. I love it. It looks phenomenal. 2, Arnold Schwarzenegger is my favorite final girl. That's the tweet.
Ooh, that is dope.
Sin tweet. Also being joined by Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara. I'm playing Titania Valkorian, Archdruid Eladrin of the Grim Harvest. There we go.
Right.
The tweet is, it wasn't my fault.
And Craig.
Hi, I'll be playing Grumman Bellmender. I'm going to continue Sen's super chill vibe. Thanks for joining us this evening for some ASMRPG.
I love that.
No.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite. And Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing.
Too chill. Go back.
That's beyond
Eject.
something. Everything left my head. I'm sorry. Okay, Vespia, she's a tiefling, Chandler thing.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You can just relax and just let the evening flow through you. And just enjoy.
Okay, yeah. Next.
And Shawnee.
Hi, I'm Shawnee, and I'm playing Valdeth, the Dwarven Samurai. And the best final girl is obviously Sydney Prescott.
thank you.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. Like I said, give us money. I am playing Sin, Changeling Warlock.
Ruthlessly mercenary.
And Dakota.
Yeah, I was already in character.
We're just talking about Sin.
What? Oh, sorry. My internet connection is apparently unstable. I missed a lot of things. Because it went from mercenary to that was definitely in character. So I have no idea what just happened.
You don't need to worry about it.
That's
It's all good.
Cool.
I'm
Be
Dakota.
chill.
I'm playing Ithram Valar, Hobgoblin War Wizard. Yeah.
And Jack.
Well, hey, y'all.
Oh, no.
This is Jack
No.
joining you at the top of the hour here from the West Coast. Glad to have you all with us. It's going to be great. I'm playing Gent. He's a half-elf spell slinger. I just can't wait to see what y'all have been up to, you fucking idiots.
I feel
my
like that is
God.
physically painful tomorrow.
I thought I turned the AM radio off.
I was going to say, that is 100% a Jay and Mal smooth jazz.
Yeah.
As always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights, human rights. And the actual best final girl is Carrie White.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Don't get me
Sin.
wrong. I love my girl Carrie, but Big difference.
Huge difference.
I know.
My favorite is Ellen Ripley.
Ripley's not a bad choice.
Not at all.
I stand by Sid, but
It's not
Ripley's
like
not
I
a
have
bad
a
choice.
tattoo.
My connection. Okay, apparently my internet is just dying right now, and I don't know why.
Oh, is it?
That's
Sirenscape?
inconvenient.
I don't think it's Sirenscape.
The binary ghost.
doing anything right now.
It's the non-binary ghosts.
I think it's just lots of things using my internet right now.
The non-binary ghosts. They're using your internet.
It's the non-binary ghosts.
There are no more binaries.
Ghosts in the
They're
machine.
gone.
I'm just gonna.
I mean, personally, if I had to pick a favorite final girl, it would be Trevor Reese Jones.
Don't know which movie that's from. Sorry.
Oh, it's not from a movie. He was the only survivor when Princess Diana died in a car crash.
Oh my fucking god, dude!
Jack, too much.
Jack went there.
Too much.
Good god!
I go all sorts of.
And I'm telling you, that might have been a little much.
We were
Just a
all
little.
super chill,
Yeah,
and then you just took us from 0 to 7,000.
I don't know if you've met me before. My name's Jack. I ruin things on purpose.
You do.
Mhm.
It's true.
Jack, middle name combo breaker.
Speaking
Oh,
of
and,
things, speaking of things that have been ruined on purpose.
additional shout out
Okay.
because they do ask that we do this whenever we just like make it regular thing.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to Sirenscape, this stream powered by Sirenscape.
Yeah.
You get to listen to our lovely buttery voices while also the ambient sounds play through your ear holes. This is me trying to do Scuzz voice in ASMR, and it's hard. I had a friend who was an ASMR. They're like, Dad was a god. They did
Speaking
Her name was
of,
Ariel.
Thank you. That was good.
speaking of places and people that have been ruined intentionally, we now go to the bottom of the sea, where hang on, sorry, this is the wrong music. That music. There we go.
Oh yeah, so it was supposed to be under the sea. Don't copyright us.
I think just
There
that
it
should
is.
be fine.
Yeah, just that much. Just the tip.
Just
Just let me sing it, and it will be unrecognizable as music for copyright purposes or artistically.
So, when last we left off, the Steel Hearts. Why are all the things I just turned off trying to turn themselves back on?
We want to live.
Let us express ourselves, Papa.
No, die in a fire.
Patron,
Give us money.
give us money. Join our Patreon. You too can throw a queer person of color money so that they can get ramen noodles.
Excuse me while I go get a pillow.
Shout out to Marie Therese for also being a great final girl. Last surviving member of Marie Antoinette's family.
When last we left off, the Steelhearts were in a sewer, having just been chased by a giant castle-shaped golem, who, when taunted by a elemental summoned by Ithram, responded with a full cannonade that immediately obliterated it.
I don't
I'm
know
sorry,
if it
what
was
is the
taunted.
difference? Yeah, walking out is taunting now.
Existing?
Yeah, apparently.
Your intruders in
I'm
the city.
taunting everybody now. Just a taunt.
Yeah, if just merely existing was enough to be a taunt, it must have been a trans statue.
I'm gonna say,
Did it not transform? Yeah, trans.
There we go.
Autobots are canonically trans, just
They are Transformers, yes.
exactly.
Forms
More than
animals.
meets the eye.
I will derail this. Sid, get us back together.
How? We were
Let's go back
never
to
on
Rose
the
and the
rails.
What rails?
What are rails?
So, you are all in
What we're
the
saying is we
sewer
want to
system
get rails.
Sewer.
of Coralholm, having just
God damn it.
closed the lid above.
I'm glad someone heard that.
I heard it too.
I'm trying desperately to push through it.
Yes, Doc, please
That's
rail
what she
us.
said.
That is what she said. I will just make rocks fall right now. Anyways,
Just
So, you're in the sewers. You've just survived a close encounter with a very large golem that you can still hear stomping around the city above. It's definitely walking in what feels like a different direction than where you are, but you can still hear it, and you never are not able to hear it.
Were we able to establish that it was a golem, technically?
I mean, it looks like a golem. You haven't seen anything that's not a construct in the city yet, so...
And it's how big?
Real big.
It is the size of the barracks, which was a 3-story building.
Like the top of the building came off.
Like
walked away.
House movie castle throwing hands.
How good a look did Gent get at this before we dove into the sewers?
Not a great look, mostly because it was banished. Y'all were told to run, and then it unbanished by the time you got around the corner. And then the next look you saw was a cannon barrage.
We do have Rary's telepathic bond up, so since Titania and Sin were the only ones that like physically saw it, they could share that image with us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if they want.
I mean, it's probably not gonna happen.
Presumably.
Over the bond, then.
Sin did give the full visual image to.
Oh, okay.
Because Titania's pinned
at least I gave it to Valdez specifically because I don't believe I'm part of that bond because it's a maximum of 8, right?
You didn't sign the
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yes.
At the moment, you are within that number limit because we don't have Alana with us.
Yeah.
True. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I had shared that image. I remember that.
Yeah. So to shortcut everything, it is a what appears to be a walking castle armed with a sort of a trebuchet or a catapult on top of it. You saw at varying times it has a cannonade array along its chest cavity. Looks like it's got about 6 cannons, all that can fire simultaneously. Its arms end in massive, like, steel spheres rather than actual hands. And the rest of it seems like it is a largely clockwork construction, like clockwork, almost steampunk to a certain degree, constructed humanoid with, like, castle turreting around it and heavily armored reinforcements. That was... it sort of in a recess on the top. So on top of the actual barracks, there's like this what looks like a watchtower pillar almost.
Right.
And it's like it was resting in a recess, like back against that pillar.
It had a slot,
so that you can't really see it unless it has a full view of the dome area that you're in. By the way, you're in. You were able to, or Titania was able to determine that the and so is Valdeth with the blueprints that she's got. That the Coral Home is a series of like separated domes, large like sort of hab blocks, and it has a perfect view basically of the hab block, but you can't see it until you're on the other side of it because of the way it's built into the tower. But yeah, it's roughly somewhere between 30 and 40 feet tall. Heavy enough to shake the ground when it walks, and armored enough to fire 6 cannon rounds in a single round.
Do I think it's got an interior access where one might be able to conceivably interact with said clockwork?
You can give me Tinker's Tools with intelligence at disadvantage because you're not familiar with because this is ancient dwarven technology, it seems.
Sure. I don't mind disadvantage. Nope. Well, natural 20 on my first one. And... yeah, because they don't let you roll Tinker's Tools at disadvantage for some. Oh, well, now it does. 24 at disadvantage.
All right. So, with a 24, there might be...
what I think, guys.
You didn't get a good enough look at it to really sort of ascertain like what the route would be, but it's possible. It's possible that there is a crawl space inside it. If there
Okay.
is, it might be too small for you, but
Okay.
because you have noticed that most of the maintenance in the area is being done by these little, like small, like little semi-sentient crab, like or spider-like droids. They're sort of skidding around, which there are some in the sewers as you're sort of watching some crawl by, just doing regular maintenance and cleaning up within the sewers. Speaking of which, as a refresher for the sewers, they are basically like hexagonal stone tunnels underground with large brass pipes going in and out of the walls, sort of constantly running up and down these things, which seem to be heading in multiple directions with multiple different turnoffs on some sort of grid-based system. And you can tell that there's running fluid in the pipes, and it's very warm down here. There's a lot of heat coming off of those pipes. There's not like any like open sewage or anything like that.
And again, Valdeth was sitting down to try and plot a path because she has the blueprints for the entire city, including the sewers.
Yeah, and Ithram was helping her.
Yes.
Did I get a roll from you on that, or not yet?
Let me check.
No, the last thing that was rolled was the 6 dexterity saves for my construct.
Right.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me a survival with advantage for the help.
Okay.
While that's happening, Gent's gonna lean over to Vespia.
19.
Vespia,
Yes.
how much facility do you have with teleportation?
Not very much.
All right. Well,
You-
once Ithram's done, I'll have to see if we can get a tinker on top of that tower should the need arise.
All right. So with a 19, you don't know. So looking at the blueprints, the first thing you realize is that there's no like what you would describe as a like this is the temple where the ritual we need is in it. You're not certain what that like. You have no like real sort of idea of where this temple is yet. You do notice that there is a temple district, but nothing in there is like
The Grand Temple or anything like that.
Yeah, nothing in there is described as like as a more important temple than any other, at least as far as the documentation is looking at.
Very dry documents, just temple here,
Yeah.
temple here, temple here, temple here.
Like it has like they have names. It's names of gods you're familiar with, but yeah, it's just like temple to Balin or temple to whoever, temple to whatever. So what you're getting is you're currently in the market hab, which is transient population. So people that were this is where inns would be, where marketplaces are set up. It's also where there are sort of office complexes specifically designed for not the equivalent of a tourism industry, mostly because there isn't really tourism here, but it's like the guests, the people that take care of the people that are staying here as guests. You based on the language here, you're assuming like ambassadorial suites, things like that, as well as like the sort of the forward-facing market presence of Coral Home. There are 3 habs connected to this one. There is a core residential hab, which is basically if you imagine that Coral Home is 9 discrete habitation blocks. You're in like the middle left one right now. Core residence is immediately to the right, so it's the central block of the 9. To your north is fabrication, and to the south is agriculture.
I'm trying to plot the most straightforward path to the temple district that I can, preferably using as much of the sewers as possible.
Yeah, as the two of you are sort of going back and forth around it, you learn the sewer systems do not connect between habs. Each hab block has their own independent sewer system. The way it's laid out is you've got I'm going top to bottom, left to right. So you've got fabrication, market, or forward market, agriculture. Then you've got reclamation, core residence, and core market, which is like sort of the internal market. Then you've got administration, temple, and it's not labeled R&D, but it's like the science-y portion of the city. It's where they do. It's where a lot of the it's where libraries and science
Scholar
labs.
district.
Yeah, scholar. That would be it. Scholarly district. So yeah, so that's the nine, the layout of the 9 in there.
So our straightest path would be straight east twice.
Yeah, if you go east twice, you'll hit core residency, and then you'll hit the temple district. And then of course there's a fabrication, reclamation, administration, and then agriculture, core market, and scholar.
So sewer route that'll get us closest to the east gate, and then we can emerge and take the east gate.
Yeah, you can plot a route effectively.
We may want to make a note of if it is not in the temple district, it may be in the rest of the
district.
scrolls. Yes. Also, it may just be nice to visit there.
I understand.
He says without the giggle.
I understand your aim.
Would not be opposed to that.
Is there anywhere that's like a tourism location, or barring that, I guess you said the house
where we came from.
The forward market is like the tourism area.
All right. Any indications of either food stores or blocks of restaurants specifically?
You
or
saw places that you would have called restaurants on your way to where you're at now. Like you were sort of running past them, trying to get away from the golem.
All right. Grumman says, I wonder, we're all just waiting here for a moment. Anyone would mind if I just nip back up above?
Yes, we mind.
Before we move on, I can do it without being seen, and it would be such a shame to leave behind any of the myriad relics of this ancient civilization. Also, there might just be a bottle of something absolutely choice up there.
You will be crushed into a fine powder.
I probably won't.
To be fair, he can become invisible at this point, so...
We could always come back for that.
Yeah, we can always come back later.
It's not
if
going
we're not
anywhere
in
as long as the universe is not destroyed,
dire
which will be a concern if we do not get out of here.
I feel as well that sort of thing, while a valid point of interest, might be best left for the exit. I don't really suppose we... There is sort of only one door, so we will have to come back this way, most likely, unless we teleport out up to the bedroom, I suppose.
And if I know anything about the ancient ways of my people, you do always try to have the gift shop by the exit, so I suppose that would be fine.
Whole documentary named that.
All right, so I know all of you love shouting no at the same time, so I'll just go ahead and suggest if we're going to 2 different places, maybe we should split up.
No.
That's more risk of any of us being seen by more things.
No.
I would like to avoid as many of the death constructs that are wandering around this place powered by the plane of law as possible.
Gent checks his gun first, to Tanya's state of health second.
I'm
Are you
fine.
all right, love?
Yeah. I'm fine. It's okay. I disappeared when I stepped into the ethereal plane and then Sin was there, so I'm fine.
All right.
Might I suggest, just as a out there idea, we stop using the word fine. Nobody believes that. Find one that is more acceptable, like okay. Anything else, when you say fine, we instantly just think that you are not fine.
I'm okay.
But when you say it like that, it sounds insincere.
How about persisting or coping?
But you're not injured terribly.
No, I'm not.
Coping is when someone makes a barrel, Drummond.
That's cooping.
No,
My
those are to
mistake.
keep chickens in.
You can also put a chicken in a barrel. Sort of, that'd be a good way to tenderize it, probably, Grummond.
Which way, Velda?
This way.
Preserved in oil. Often the best way to ship them overseas.
I don't like that beeping noise.
Yeah, something's beeping.
What
is that?
No,
You
I
have
do
to
not
look
like
around.
these.
Look around.
I do not like these.
They're in the vents!
You hear.
I'm diving down into the sewer water.
You hear.
I will tell your
Sort of
story.
You hear sort of
Just drop flat into the water.
There's no water,
isn't
but you
any,
just
it's
drop
pipes.
flat on the ground. Yeah, so you hear this sort of like this soft, like trilling, beeping sound coming from one of the sort of like nearby pipes. As you all sort of react and look.
Drummond's
Okay,
water.
I'm loving Skyrenscape a lot right now. Actually, that was really good.
That was really good because we didn't notice it until we noticed it.
You see that one of those small like spider creatures is sort of sitting there on a gasket, and the little like yellow like golden light that sort of like where like sort of the core body of it is was just rapidly blinking, sort of between this yellow and then a reddish like color.
What does that mean?
I was
And
going
it
to say,
stopped.
mm-hmm.
And then it continues moving.
How long would... Oh, it continues moving?
Yep. Mhm.
Is it still that red color, or is it back to the
Back to
yellowish green
back to
color?
the normal yellow color, yeah.
Okay.
Probably fine.
Was Gent able to determine any particular pattern to the blinking
Give me
while it was visible?
Give me a intelligence enigmas roll. No, give me a
Right, yeah.
Investigation?
Just give an investigation, but with disadvantage because you have nothing to go off of.
Can I also roll?
Can I catch the spider?
If you want. Do you want to try?
Great. Scuz's gonna catch the spider.
Oh, there we go. So it was a 7.
How are you trying to catch the spider?
How big are they? Are they Scuz size, or are they like small dog size? Or smaller?
They're small, aren't they?
Yeah, no, they're fairly small. They are.
Are they mage hand size?
They are small constructs, so they're like about half size to Scuz.
Okay. And how high up is the gasket that it's hanging on?
That it was hanging onto. It was sort of. It was on the top, so one of the upper pipes that it was sort of onto. About 6 feet up.
Okay. Scuzz goes over to Grumman. Dad, can I get on your shoulders? I'm gonna catch a spider.
Of course, boy.
It's skittering away at this point, by the way.
So I will start running after it, scooping up. Wait, no, I'll get Scuzz on my shoulders and start just like running after it.
Monk running with the goblin with his arms out.
All right, so
before I do that though, does it look like it was communicating? Like, is there any way that Grumman could parse that?
Make an insight check with disadvantage.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, I would enjoy that. You know what?
It's a fun time.
I've seen a lot of people talking, not usually small robot spiders, but sometimes. So I'm gonna do that drunken master thing where I get rid of my disadvantage.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it. I'm great at this.
Also, you have Tongue of Sun and Moon if it qualified as any kind of language.
I always forget I have that one.
I actually tried to use that the other day, but I realized Grumman couldn't hear the message from the ghost. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Does it count as language?
No.
Bummer.
Shoot.
Well, as a natural one.
Bummer.
You know what?
Beeping sound and flashing lights. Go ahead.
Can I do inspiration on that?
Go ahead, do it.
Yes.
It's like one of them darn kid games, just beeping lights.
17?
17.
Beeping sounds and flashing lights.
All right.
Well,
that was a great use of key points to end inspiration. Off we go.
Yeah, off we go.
So you just take off after it?
As Grumman takes off, Valdez just sort of looks over at them and then looks again. You know, the odds are either that it found something that it needed to repair, which is why it flashed red, or it was alerting the fact that
It's
there
doing
are
it again.
sewers.
There's beeping again.
Is that the same direction, or is it behind us? Because we're in the middle of a tunnel. There are two sides.
Is it the one we're chasing, or is it a different one?
Hey, there we
Come
go.
and make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy.
And Scuzz.
At least that happened to the people with
I was about to say 2 people with evasion, so.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's a failure.
14 is a failure, yes.
I'm gonna reuse that one. That'll do it. That's a natural.
Hey.
Yeah, I also rolled bad. Do I have a lucky? I don't have a lucky. I don't have an inspiration. Well,
I dream of 16s.
Fortunately, you still take half damage because you have evasion.
yes.
So,
Now,
Grumman,
I'm holding Scuzz. Does that help?
No.
No, it probably makes it worse.
Scuzz gets hit by most of it. Like,
Yeah, Scuzz takes most of the damage with his big old head.
Oh no!
You're catching up to the spider creature, and it sort of stops and begins beeping again. And right as Scuzz is about to sort of like do whatever Scuzz is about to do to catch it,
Just big hands.
there is just one of the several sort of like of the gaskets on the pipe just explode outward as boiling hot steam just blasts into the two of you. Grumman,
No,
you
my modeling face.
Grumman, you instinctively just like tuck and roll out of the way, which unfortunately because you're carrying Scuzz means that you swing Scuzz through the steam, slam him into the ground, and then back up through the steam as you get back on your feet. And while you take no damage.
At least it was steam. I thought it was Cannon Boy shooting through to the sewers.
No, it was.
Scuzz is going to go through the steam and come out a skeleton.
that was.
You know, it comes out clean.
That was the pipe
Even
exploding.
worse.
Which does that sound?
You have too much butter on you. It's like sous vide.
Oh, yeah. As you're rolling damage, Sin, is it the pipe exploding by itself, or did the spider cause that?
Well, as you take 41 points of fire damage, halved to 20.
Thank you.
You can make a perception check.
Okay.
Grumman comes up, like still looking at the steam, and is like, "Oh, that was a close one, right? Oh no!"
Just no eyebrows, very wet, very, very. You've never seen a goblin red before? This is the closest he's ever looked to like a tiefling.
For the rest of you, for the rest of you, it looked like rapid series of red flashes, and then just a curtain of steam enveloped Grumman and Scuzz. With 19, you can't tell if there was a correlation between what the spider was doing and the explosion. The spider wasn't next to it. You don't know enough about the technology to know whether that was just a fault or if it was a sort of planned destruction. You do know that there's just this gouting like wall of steam behind you right now, though, just off gassing.
All right, let's not chase the spiders into what are probably traps that it's laying for us.
Agreed.
I would like to take a nap, please.
I healed you for 7, which is not what I do as a level 1 cleric.
Steam is still water. I'm going to use shape water to plug that while we, since is it bigger than a 5-foot cube?
Yes.
Is it in the path we need to take, or is the path that I had laid out away from it?
No, the path that you laid out does not have to go that way.
Okay, so let's not go that way.
Grummond and Scuzz are on the other side of it, though.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, I can still make a little 5-foot cube door for them.
I can.
Yeah.
I have.
I mean, Scuzz is small, and Grummond is a relatively short dwarf. They should be able to fit through a 5-foot cube.
Single file.
I mean, a 5-foot cube is enough for a medium-sized creature.
Yeah.
Just in general. You do notice as you start to shape the water, you do notice that a few more of those spider droids come out and immediately sort of like turn and head over towards that sort of busted pipe. And their sort of like spiked appendages and the sort of glowing orb on top of them immediately begin seemingly effortlessly folding this brass metal back into place, and then a little beam of light just welds these bits and pieces of the pipe closed. And you watch as they, within a matter of about a minute, patched up the entire series of pipes that blew. And after they're done, all 3 or 4 of them beep rapidly and then skitter back away. Yes, Nikki.
This is the face that Scuzz is making as he's watching this.
Oh.
Just like, okay, so we probably don't need to chase it. Okay, Grumman, you can put me down now.
You're making an insight check, anyone who wants to, this time with just flat.
Insight.
I'll do that.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Scuzz, my boy.
Nice, Fat.
I am thinking that I feel like a fried chicken wing.
28.
Here, Scuzz.
Did you hear me that I healed you for 7 hit points?
I did. Scuzz is at half his total hit points right now.
I'm gonna cast heal on you. You get 60 or 70 HP.
Woo!
Casting all those big spells.
Oh, I lied. I forgot.
Everyone that rolled higher than Scuzz and Ithram.
Them kids in your technology.
Scuzz's skin heals magically.
You can tell that
constructs these days
at this,
texting and
at this point you're
butter
sort of,
is really good for a burn.
At this point you're sort of
no, it's not.
Figuring that is some form of like not language but communication between those maintenance automatons.
It's the equivalent of like a Roomba being like, this area is done. Beep beep, off to the next one.
And you do recall that there was a distinct difference in the beeps that you were hearing, which likely means that one was communication and one was a warning. Considering that the different tone went off, and the different tone happened, and then the pipe exploded.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it's probably them, A, maintaining the pipes, and B, setting traps for anyone that chases them. So let's not chase them and go this way.
That's a crazy idea.
And make certain that they stay here, because if these things get out, they'll put every tin and pewter smith and tinker out of business. We can't have that.
Oh, I thought you meant like keep them here. I was like, no, they gotta just do their job here. This is their home.
They've sat here not leaving for how long at this point?
Oh no, I'm just saying let's not take any of them with us.
No.
Also, I mean, Grumman, who fixes the things that fixes things?
Apparently, the enacting contract of the plane of law, considering it's fixed everything else that's broken down around here.
Right. Now keep in mind your new family name, lad, Billminder. Take a bit of pride. We don't want to pass it over to machines.
Well, somebody had to build the machines, and somebody's got to fix the machines.
We're not machine builders, we're Billminders.
I don't know if you know this about me, Dad, but I'm a bucket.
You're a Billminder bucket now. Ooh, you can be a bucket mender.
We can be a bucket mender. I need lots of mending.
Isn't that somebody who fixes a machine of sort?
There's one more thing. Dad, there's one more thing. What is it? A bucket? No.
We have caught Grummond in a trap.
I think even by the most generous, he turns to Vespia. Vespia, back me up on this. Even by the most generous of definitions, a bucket fails to qualify as even the most simple of machines. Am I right?
While you might be right on that, I would argue that a bell is definitely a machine.
It depends upon the bucket, really.
Like, especially the big bells that you find in, like, bell towers. Those are definitely machines.
Buckets contain multitudes. Isn't that right, Scuzz?
Yeah, I contain a lot of stuff.
Well, and from a strictly theoretical perspective, the inclined plane, the lever, the wedge, the wheel axle, the pulley, and the screw are the simplest designated machines. And
Jesus Christ!
Stay here.
Sin.
Let's stop standing here and start moving.
You hear that?
Fucking Leatherface is coming for us.
I was about to shout out Daddy. It's the wrong game.
You hear some sort of odd revving sound echoing through the tunnels.
Me trying to remember to say Sin's name and not Daddy.
Starts walking.
I've been conditioned. Pavlov's horny Dead by Daylight player.
Drummond just sort of turns, looks to the spiders, gives him one of those like eyes, points at the spiders. I'm watching you.
It's a little bit machinist, isn't it?
Robots.
You made such friends with the machine that was watching the front door, and yet you have something against the spiders.
Oh, well, not the concierge family.
Is it because they're animals?
No, they're horning in on our territory. That's what it is.
It's because they fix things and he's jealous.
The sewers are your territory.
You're damn right they are. I haven't run a bar for nigh on 2 centuries without getting mighty familiar with sewers and buckets.
Well, Drummond, whenever we hear rumors of a caravan of constructs approaching from the south to the borders of Swiggle to take all of your jobs, then we'll start to get concerned.
I appreciate it, Gent. I knew you'd understand. Can I just say, out of character, I'm very uncomfortable with this direction.
You should be.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jack. I
thought,
ruin things on
after
purpose.
a moment's thought, I've reconsidered. Let's bring them all back home. I'm sure we'll find homes that work for all of us.
Let's not take the indigenous constructs away from their home, shall we?
We can just adopt them. Roman can have many children.
Stop talking.
Let's go this way.
This way.
Let's walk this way.
Everyone, the
away
railroad.
from this conversation.
Yes.
It's where death is not.
Let's move this conversation along, shall we?
Well, one more prismatic wall, and you can all have that conversation to yourselves.
Someone's wearing a red hat that says MAGA, make automatons go away.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Wow.
No.
Look, I want to appreciate the joke, but I can't.
Because fuck those hats.
The
They've
only
made
thing
wearing
saving-
red hats. Like, it's going to take a whole decade for us to not have a knee-jerk reaction of wanting to punch things
Look,
when we
all
see
I'm
someone
saying
in a
is
red hat.
I
Scottish
appreciate
folklore on
your
the red
optimism
cap
that
is
we're going to be able to
becoming
do that in a decade.
Mhm.
Decade from now. I believe
Yeah,
it.
my point stands.
I'm very optimistic, very glass full, very bucket half full over here.
My child has put a red hat on me, but it's not one of those red hats.
No,
No,
it's a red wizard hat, not a red baseball cap.
It's a rad hat. That's a rad hat.
I'm trying to stay up
More
ahead.
hats?
No!
Yeah,
Extra hats.
same.
Many. Craig, you're a man of many hats.
I am indeed.
More hats. Yes, I love this energy.
We are moving, Sen. You
We
don't
are
have
moving.
to put more sound effects
Oh,
at us
no,
to
I
make
know.
us move
I know.
faster.
I know.
Yeah, yep.
As you're
trying
moving,
to like.
When
Yeah.
a straight cis white dude hits a certain age and starts balding, he starts buying hats.
Those are footsteps.
as you're moving along,
Okay.
you begin to hear heavy thumping sounds echoing through the sewers.
Is it from all the hats falling off
Hey,
Grumman?
Jeremy, we said it at the same time!
What? What is that? Can I tell what that is? Like, I've been trying to listen out for sounds.
Give me
When one robot loves another.
That's what I was thinking.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, if they're shipwrights, they're making anchor baits.
God. No!
You can almost say they're dropping anchor.
Oh my fucking god.
I want to cast Disintegrate, but it's a dexterity save, and I know you'd make it.
That was Nikki, not Scuzz.
No, not
That
Grumman.
What is that?
So, with 20 perception, I was waiting for y'all to finish. With 20 perception from Titania and a 23 perception from Git and a 19 perception from Sin, it sounds like a series of very heavy individuals, likely automatons, moving through a space, and then the footsteps stop.
And a few sounds?
No, you're just hearing like steam off gassing from.
I was about to say that was an off gassing.
How far away are they? Can I tell that?
You got the idea that they were distant. They weren't immediately near you, but they're within the sewer system somewhere.
Okay. Someone else in the tunnels.
I wish I wasn't a headphones wearer right now for all of this. My poor baby heart can't take this. Sirenscape, it's too much.
Mine's directional. I don't know why.
Right? Same.
All right,
I heard go off over here. I'm like, what the fuck?
Don't get me wrong, this is fucking fantastic.
Immersive, too immersive. I can't take this.
I'm here for it. I'm just saying.
Let's try and avoid conflict and just keep moving. Be aware that there are things down here. Try and avoid contact with them.
Yes. Avoiding conflict are the thing that we are the best at.
I know, believe me, but try and find new heights to reach.
We sometimes go out of our way in the middle of a peaceful field to go find conflict.
Well, yes, but we might be very good at avoiding conflict, and we just don't know it, because, I mean, how many fights have we not gotten in that we don't know we could have?
Let's broaden our horizons and seek to avoid conflict that we're aware of as well.
I'm going to cast Pass Without Trait. Do we want to... Are we...
Yes.
Yes, we should sneak.
Yeah.
We should be sneaky.
Let's do that. I cast Pass Without Trace.
You cast Pass Without Trace. All right, everyone go ahead and give me stealth checks with a +10.
Okie dokie.
Blam, 25.
I was born in the shadow.
37.
I got a 17.
I don't have disadvantage.
29.
16.
25.
What are we rolling?
Stealth with a +10.
I can't get lower than a 27, and then it's a 37. Dang. Bummer.
31.
I could have rolled higher.
So yeah, you are.
I could have been a contender.
Fairly stealthy, except for Titania and Ithram.
We're still all right.
Still all right. Why do you have a
16 and 17 are normally fine stealth rolls.
Penalty?
Because of the I have plate mail technique, I have something because, but it's made of wood, so I'm fine. It's not actually disadvantaged, but the
ironwood.
Yeah.
Ironwood.
Yeah.
Ithram,
I taught you how to walk on the ball of your feet.
You all begin
These are
walking
the
quieter. Unfortunately, Scuzz keeps talking loudly, which is largely the biggest problem. But you proceed on your course. So continuing on this map, on this path that Valdeth sort of mapped out through the sewers. When you get to what seems like an ancient bit of collapse, straight down the path that you had been intending to go, the entire sewer cave is just collapsed in. Oddly, you don't see. Git has been keeping an eye out. You don't see any signs of destroyed maintenance drones. It just seems like this is probably too big of a hole in the infrastructure for the maintenance drones to fix.
Seems like the law contract is only keeping the defenders alive and not perhaps the city intact.
It's not nice.
I mean,
Well, darling, what's our closest detour?
Valith pulls the map back out of the Brav holding, sort of tries to adjust.
There are two different paths. So this was the only like sort of open path to where you were going to get to. There are two other options though. One leads you through what seems to be marked as a power room, some sort of generator room, and another one goes through the maintenance operations center for this particular section of the sewers.
I'd assume maintenance or through the generators, although before considering either of those, what are our options for clearing this rubble?
Ants.
Well, I can become something pretty big and like burrowing.
I do have telekinesis prepared. Depending on how stable it looks, I'm not any type of engineer.
I roll history with expertise for stone cutting to see how good or bad this cave-in looks to clear.
It will be nature.
Guidance.
Either or, same thing basically with stone cutting.
Yeah, you can roll nature with stone cutting.
Can I do guidance and assist?
Yeah.
Cool. Advantage plus a d4 plus expertise. So 1d4. So 15 plus expertise is 12. So 27. 26. No, 27. I was right.
You're sort of like getting a sense for the thing, and you sort of push, give it a little bit of adjustment. As you adjust anything, more rubble pulls down. You get the idea that this is the bottom of like a sinkhole of some kind, and
pulling more out will just cause more to fall.
Yeah,
okay.
Trying to burrow through it will most likely cause more things to collapse down.
All right, this isn't a stable collapse. There's more piling on top of it. We can't move this, so we're going to have to go around.
Okay.
Right.
Which of the two paths seems shorter between the power supply and the maintenance room?
So you're learning that this is actually a very symmetrically laid out sort of like underground. It's very much like
roughly equidistant
on a grid. Yeah, you're roughly equidistant to both.
I would advise we go through the maintenance area. Any type of power system that is keeping this
still active might be dangerous.
That is just my opinion. If anybody has other ideas,
might find useful.
Like I said,
I don't think I'm going to learn how to make the power supply by looking at it. So, we might find interesting tools and materials in the maintenance room as well.
That's fair.
Let me ask out of character just to make sure I'm not misremembering. But didn't we get a sense that this was potentially a punishment?
No, it seems to have been a contract.
Yeah,
whether that was a good or a bad thing, we couldn't tell.
Yeah, but one they had entered into unwillingly.
Okay.
That's the assumption. Somebody has made that assumption, but you haven't had any like.
Valdeth has made that assumption because it doesn't seem like the kind of thing that anyone would want to be subjected to, but she has no proof of that.
All right, yeah. I just wanted to double check on that before I brought it up in character. Okay, so Grumman says, "Does anyone else get the sense that this contract or no, this is really more of a punishment? I mean, it's keeping the people trapped in those armors, but it's not doing anything for Coralholm and all the things that they built."
If this is where the apotheosis ritual is, maybe that is the price of being the home of such a ritual. If you were to house something this powerful, you must protect it and ensure that it will stay protected.
Do you think they chose this, or it's more like a prison for them?
No way to know, but I don't think many would choose this.
I have a
It might have been chosen for them.
I have a perhaps more relevant question. Let's say that is true, that this is a punishment to them, and this is something without being done to them as horrible. do we plan to try and do anything about it, or are we going to go get the ritual that will save the universe? Yes, that is a leading question.
We don't know if we can do anything about it at the moment, but it's something to keep an eye open for.
If we could help them, it seems best that.
Absolutely, as long as it doesn't jeopardize the mission and thus, again, our universe.
Yes, I think I see what you're saying. There's a cost analysis to be done should we come across more information on this, but I think the imperative is that we get to the ritual first and we can figure the rest out once we have that in hand.
And of course, and that's once the world is saved, we could always
swing back by and pick up your missing drinks if we miss those, and free whoever's down here that shouldn't be imprisoned.
No.
Once you save the world, I feel like taking on the plane of order is simply the next logical step.
All right, let's go this way. Valda says as she starts heading towards the maintenance room.
All right.
Saddle up, chuckle fucks.
Ithram will move back towards the rear to bring up.
Sen, do you want Gent to make a perception or investigation check for what he's looking for? Or?
You don't have to, because so far you haven't found any. You can make a make me a Arcana check.
Okay.
Or religion, one of the two.
I'm better at Arcana. That's 21.
21. You, as you're sort of thinking about it and looking around, you haven't seen any broken down maintenance droids, and you sort of come to two suppositions. One, either the maintenance droids, based on the communication you saw earlier, repair each other.
Yep.
Or they are kept repaired in repair by whatever contract this is. You don't think you're going to find like a dead one or a deactivated one.
Okay. Nope. If you can't find a dead one, the live one's going to have to do.
And particularly because, as you're looking around, these sewers were built for like medium-sized creatures, not small drones.
Right. The structures of the architecture and the proportions are off.
Yeah, like
from an efficiency perspective.
Exactly. Yeah, like if you were designing this for like drone, if you were designing this sort of maintenance thing for those drones, there wouldn't like the doors wouldn't be
that big,
humanoid size or anything like that, right?
Right. Yep, makes sense.
So you head to. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my way. But the one problem that I'm having is that you can't if you grabbed a particular like sound thing and then clicked away from it, it's hard to get back to it.
While we're walking, Ithram is gonna fiddle with his Crystalline Chronicle, and I'm gonna swap around 3 spells. I will let you know once I finish reading through.
Yeah. So you head down. You head towards the maintenance room. You find yourself standing in front of a fairly broad steel door that isn't locked. You open it. There's a sort of creaking metal as it opens. And inside you see what looks almost like an office area with a series of wall, sort of like chests that are like vertical and leaning against the wall rather than normal like sort of flat down chests, with kind of like footlockers still on their end. Series of desks and tables and chairs with just completely decayed, long gone paperwork that, you know, brittle enough that just walking past them causes several of them to start crumbling into dust. Several what look like storage containers or cabinets for most likely have more information in them. A couple of different sort of like small mechanical recesses in the wall that have additional like clockwork and wiring inside them. They look almost like sort of like half spheres, just sort of like gouged out of the wall.
Ooh, investigate.
And another door on the far side continuing on the path. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Guidance.
Is this visual?
Yeah.
Cool.
Guidance.
All right, we'll add a D4 to that. Hang on.
You go ahead.
18.
18. As you sort of like take a look at it and you get a little bit closer, these look like some sort of like. It looks like something is supposed to rest here. You're imagining this might be where some of the maintenance droids might like sort of secure themselves when they're not operating. It's certainly not the size where they could fit, but it may also be something else you just haven't encountered yet.
And I'll take a look and see if there's anything in those chests while we go by too.
Yeah.
Do you want to see if they're trapped?
So I swapped out Chain Lightning for a Globe of Invulnerability. Summoned Draconic Spirit for Cone of Cold, and Tasha's Mind Whip for Scorching Ray.
Okay.
So that just took 3 minutes of walking.
Yeah.
More heads. Honestly, though, if like nothing else, if the desk and the door wasn't trapped, the chest might not be trapped. But I believe in you.
By all means, have a look.
Okay.
Investigation check to see they're trapped.
Are they trapped?
19? Not as far as you can tell. No.
I rolled the same thing. All right. Skuz opens them. Are they locked?
No, they don't seem to be locked.
Oh, that's weird. What if they need to protect their shoes or their car keys? Skuz opens them.
They don't have bodies anymore. I may have passed.
You open it up.
Why would
There
you
doesn't
need
seem to be
keys
anything
for
inside.
cards?
Just cobwebs.
They're protecting their spiders.
Well, if there's nothing of note here, none of the documents seem to be recoverable. Perhaps we should push on.
Let's push
I'm
on.
sorry, someone's playing piano nearby.
Someone's playing a very
dramatic,
chaotic piano.
Or the background music.
Can't.
It's
You made it part of the game.
It's a particular. It's a particular measure.
You'll know when you hear boss music. It's fine.
I'm realizing
This is the beginning of boss music. Where's the medic packs?
I'm just
Yeah, this is the music in the rooms before the boss music, where you find the relevant healing items and the weapon that you'll need to fight the next boss.
I'm noticing a patch on the ground over here that is in that same configuration that we see right before we have every other hard fight. Does anyone want to stand over here and have the gamin?
One of you starts praising the sun for no reason.
It'd be Grummond.
So yeah, you looked in one locker. Do you want to look in all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you just ting 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 ting. You get through about 4 or 5 before you open one that actually has stuff in it. There's what seems to be
persistence.
There's what seems to be some sort of like old denim clothing, with like a some. It looks almost like a metal like playing card sort of stuck in a pocket.
Whip that out.
Skuz very gently pulls it as like denim, the most indestructible of fabrics.
Gen reaches over and takes the little playing card shaped thing.
No, wait.
So yeah, it's a little it's like sort of a chrome finish on a silver rectangle, basically. That looks like it has an intricate series of like lines carved into it.
That rectangle.
It doesn't have any specific there's no like labeling or anything on it. There is there is like just like a line of blue across one edge of it.
Interesting.
Skuz is putting on the denim vest over his coat.
It's overalls.
Damn it, Dakota.
Putting on the overalls under his coat.
I appreciate you.
This guy left his debt rectangle in his mechanic's overalls.
Might be either some sort of mechanical components. Does it look conductive at all, as far as the metal goes?
Possibly.
What if you can throw it?
Could be a patch of some sort. It's not really shaped aerodynamically, Scuzz.
Get. You have bullets that don't look aerodynamic.
My bullets are perfectly aerodynamic, thank you very much. They come to a tapered point and they're symmetrically shaped.
Yeah, you just throw it through the wind. It's a fucking metal card.
I mean, while it might be good for tavern tricks, it's not exactly weapons grade, is what I'm saying.
There's somebody in a place that have a very hard thing to say. He'd say like, "Oh yeah, girl, you can't talk about my cards like this." I can't do his accent very well.
Scuzz, sometimes I feel like you'll get trapped in this sort of levity-based systematic of conversation for an audience that you can't see. And we honestly have no proof that even exists.
That's not very nice. Are you saying that I'm crazy?
I mean, no, I think that isn't
No,
that
darling.
No. I would never call you crazy, Scuzz. Delusional, possibly.
Grumman comes
Ow!
up, puts his shoulder on both of them, if they will allow him, and say, as a newly ordained minister, that just...
Sorry, you're what?
Isn't that just religion? In a sense, I mean, talking to
Where's
someone
the silence
who's
bill?
not
Where's the
sure.
No, we've got empirical proof that the deities exist. We know people who have spoken to them.
And I've spoken to people that have already died. It's a whole
Exactly.
thing.
That sort of thing we can prove. There's
I'm
reasonable and
remembering
empirical evidence for that sort of
conversations.
Can
So
I
it
see
was
that
like this
card?
really, it was like this. Here you go. There's this really smelly like street.
Let's walk and talk, shall we, Scuzz?
I'm gonna look over this card.
When
Is
there
there
was one pair of footprints.
any markings besides the lines? Anything that might indicate that it's arcane in nature or enchanted in any way?
Not that you can tell. Like the only markings are these like sort of carved lines in it, and like the blue stripe down one edge.
By the way, I love trying to do other accents in the Scuzz accent. It's my favorite thing. It's terrible.
We found the blue key card.
You found the blue key card. Oh my, what if there's a machine we can use to upgrade it to the yellow key card?
Green Goblin needs butter badly.
Also, for those who, I was doing a very, very trying to do a bad Gambit impression. It
Oh
was
no,
awful.
I
It was
gather.
so bad.
Around here, we call that the Armand.
Oh, right, I should have tried to say Monsieur.
There you go.
There's no other constructs in this area, though.
Not that you can see, no.
Okay.
Cody, I heard you 2 minutes ago. You can't try to pretend now you're all business.
Can do.
That is a hard left turn that we make whenever we want.
We can be business. Ooh.
That was a really good
No.
musical sting right there. So, you just continue to look through lockers, or are you heading out?
If there's more lockers to look through, Gent will look through them. But until people are ready to head out, yeah.
Okay.
I have a quick question. The
Yeah.
mark of death, the X-ray vision thing,
Mhm.
does that also have the same
It works as the ring of X-ray
like
vision.
limitation? Okay, it has the same limitation where you can only do it once per long rest.
Unless it says otherwise.
It does not. It says you can use an action to see as if you were wearing a ring of X-ray vision. You can end this effect as a bonus action.
There you go.
By the way, Jeremy, if it's
Okay.
any consolation to you, you're Oliver's favorite person for the evening.
Oh,
Yes.
yay.
Yay.
Did Oliver see the hats?
Oliver didn't
ticking
see.
noise.
Yeah,
Here,
Oliver didn't
is
see the
that-
hats.
is that
Oliver would have
footsteps?
fucking loved the hats. No, that's ticking. It's absolutely ticking.
Okay.
The fucking
Can
croc is
find
down
the
here.
Can Gent find the source of the ticking and please let it be a pipe bomb?
No, it's the
Yeah, go ahead and
ceiling.
give me
It's
a
getting
No,
perception
shorter.
it's a crocodile that's coming at us.
Nobody
Found the
smiled.
source of the ticking noise. It's a pipe bomb.
I assume it's not visual, right?
No, it's not visual.
Yeah, 16.
Oh my gosh, I haven't heard a reference for that for years.
You follow,
I literally just made it 30 seconds ago.
You follow the sound that you're hearing. It sounds like it's sort of. It's not. It's like not quite in the room, but just on the other side of like one of the walls. And you start hearing. It's sort of like. It almost sounds like there's several things that are winding up at the moment.
Gen's gonna go looking for the source of that then.
Okay. Yeah. So you looking around the wall. Are you like trying to exit the room and look for it, or are you just looking around the room?
Well, so like, if there's not a door leading in through that wall, yeah, he'll exit the room and try and, find his way to whatever that section of this building is.
I don't think our names have the right combination of syllables to go for the full Potter Puppet Pals.
So the rest of you watch Gent just walk out the other door.
I'll follow.
Yeah, Vespia will follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep an eye on it.
As you follow the sounds, you start to hear more and more just sort of mechanical adjustments, it sounds like. And eventually you find yourself sitting outside of a room that just has like it just has a designator on it of like this sort of series of gears, and there's what looks like a vertical slit in the door that has like
is it about the same size as that card?
Yeah, and it has like a blue like sort of line painted across the top of the slit.
Gen's the one who's holding it.
Well, no,
How far have you walked?
Ithram is, because he was handed to Ithram while y'all were having your bit.
It was?
Yeah.
At some
But
point.
you were
Not
doing
by
a
my
bit,
consent.
Yeah.
But anyway,
He'll hand it forward.
Okay.
Sorry, Skuz handed it to Ithram while he was continuing the bit.
Anyway, right.
Yeah, you open you put it in the into the door, and there's a sort of a metallic clicking sound, sort of a heavy chunk chunk, and the door slides open, and inside you see what looks like just a massive room filled with half-built clockwork creatures.
I hate this sound. The sound sucks.
One of whom
Sounds
starts
awful.
making that noise as the door opens, and you look as a half-constructed head turns to look at the group of you.
Incorrect. No.
And that's where we're going to go to our break. So, if you're watching live, when we take our break, you take your break. So, stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do whatever you need to do. Grab food, and please stay tuned for these commercial messages, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. We're back. A dinosaur
A
story.
dinosaur story.
Good job, Nikki.
Thank you.
Close,
I've been ready
close.
for that. I was right on point.
Nope. Didn't quite get it, but you were close.
Hey, audience, if you thought I was much faster than Sin, send me $20.
They heard what I heard, which was you a half second behind me.
That's fine.
Damn it.
Last episode, last break. I'm just gonna cast mass polymorph. We're all gonna be dinosaurs and we're all gonna be grooving. We get back from break.
So the Steelhearts have just entered into a room that was locked behind a blue keycard door.
Part of the Steel Hearts. Some of us are still
Some of
inside the other room.
In which there is a entity that has sort of half-constructed face with clockwork going on inside of it that has tilted its head looking at Gent with like sort of a lower jaw like it looks like a humanoid face made of like various gears of metal with the lower jaw missing, and it is currently making this noise.
Grumman does leaning around Gent and goes, "Hello."
And does the thing where you just palm somebody's face and shove them back.
Hello.
Excuse me. Do you understand us?
The head, like you see these sort of metallic eyes just like flickering between the two of you as the sound continues.
I'll say in Dwarven, having a bit of trouble making that out.
And it sort of looks over, like you can see it's sort of like it's on some sort of like mechanical interface. It does not have, the majority of it is not a body. It's mostly like sort of the bits and pieces of framework of a body, with like the head and like lower jaw missing.
Exactly how FNAF is this, John?
Little bit, what's the dog?
Bonnie?
No, the actual dog. The one that swoops down from the roof and bites your head.
Oh, Foxy.
Nope.
Foxy's a fox.
Not that one.
No fucking idea what y'all are talking about.
Playtime Foxy?
Nope.
What's that one?
Nope.
Mangle.
Mangle. That's it.
Yes, that is Foxy, but it's the second version of Foxy. It's yes.
But Mangle.
That doesn't help. Don't call it Mangle. God.
Okay. Looks a little mangle.
Does this make sense to somebody?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
I don't want it to make sense to me. I don't want to FNAF in here. I don't want to.
What's that?
Is there any difference to
Animatronics that are very Chuck E. Cheese adjacent, coming to kill you at night. That's it. That's all you need to know.
It's a video game.
Yep.
Is there any difference to its response when we address it in Dwarven?
None in particular. As to your question, Titania, it's some sort of mechanism that's happening inside that room.
Is there anything?
You said it was looking a particular direction?
Yeah, it's sort of. It looks like it's looking over at something that looks kind of like a workbench.
Gen's gonna wander over there and have a look.
I was about to say, is there anything of note in here?
Oh, lots of half-constructed clockwork machinery. In addition to this,
Tell me what has the interact icon in front of it.
yeah,
Look, it's not often that you walk into Gen's mind palace in meat space. Okay.
You head over to the you head over to the desk that it was looking at, and there's just a whole bunch of various like bits and pieces and parts on the table. A few that look like they've been constructed together, but not all of them fully. Go ahead and make me a investigation check, Gent. While this is using your eyes, technically it's using your brain more than your eyes. So not. I don't know that it would have advantage.
I'm gonna use my inspiration then.
Okay.
And
So 7 and then an 8.
No, like I'm gonna use my inspiration to re-roll that.
All right.
Let's try that again. 23. That's a little.
Guidance.
Sure. 24.
Okay.
Yay. Fuck yeah.
Sorry, just getting us.
He's going back. He's got to read a different thing now.
Now, so yeah, you're looking through it, and you sort of move some parts out of the way, and you realize that there's some intact blueprints as you look down at it. And sort of looking at the blueprints, you can't quite read them, but you can make out, because it's not in Dwarvish, it's in technical jargon, which is a different language entirely. And it looks like there's a couple of different pieces over here that could be cobbled together to create something that looks like it should plug into the jaw and throat space of this thing.
Awesome. I'm gonna build a voice box.
Make me a Tinker's Tool check.
Good.
Or a fire breathing apparatus. One of the two.
I mean, Valdeth will assist.
Yeah.
Tinker's Tools with what?
Just intelligence.
Okay.
Guard this better than I guarded the
Also-
golems.
Also,
Correct.
guidance.
And you said advantage with guidance because Valdez helping?
Yep.
I'm just going to stick with that one.
That's
And
funny.
then roll a d4. Get even higher.
33.
You have plans in front of you, so the DC wasn't particularly high.
Cool.
You cobble together what looks like a lower jaw and throat, with a variety of different clockwork parts and a couple of different like what look like air pumps almost to it, and figure out how the housing is supposed to sit in it. And yeah, you've got what looks like some sort of like larynx construction, basically, some like automate, like a mechanical Adam's apple, if you will.
Cool. We're going to chunk that right in.
So yeah, you this sort of grinding mechanical clockwork sound stops for a moment as you come over and you chunk, and then there's this sound of like various bits of clockwork connecting together. There's a moment as its eyes sort of flick back and forth. And it's not like it's looking at you, but like it's reading something you can't see. Just very rapidly, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then...
Take your time there, friend.
Thank you. I appreciate the construction.
What should we call you?
Grumman smiled and nodded with approval.
Thanks for a second. So anybody that's sitting outside the room, you can now hear that clockwork, that sort of like rampant, like almost like clockwork screaming sound has stopped, and now there is a unfamiliar voice speaking to Ghent. It sort of cocks its head. This one has no proper designation.
Well, for convenience sake, would you mind if I simply called you proper then, for the moment?
Designation proper suffice.
Wonderful.
You notice he's speaking perfect common.
Uh-huh.
We're going to keep doing that to every port automaton we come across, aren't we?
Technically speaking, this one is not an automaton.
What would you classify yourself as, then?
An automaton is a mindless, soulless construct built for specific tasks.
Oh, no.
This one.
No, go ahead.
This one is a surveyor.
Do you got a soul in you?
Define.
Surveyor. It says something in sort of like what sounds like... It sounds almost like that clockwork grinding sound again, then stops. A surveyor is a minor celestial from the plane Mechanus of the law, of the upper plane of law.
Oh shit, you're a Modron? Sorry, that's not Scott, that's Nikki.
Would you happen to know what happened to this city then?
It sort of like tilts its head around. It doesn't seem too particularly bothered by the fact that it's mostly been dismantled, and sort of hanging here. Information unknown. There was, at one point, a memory in my head, but it seems to have been removed.
Any idea where we might find it?
Unknown. I have been in this room for... There's another series of, like, clockwork grinding sounds. Error. An undetermined amount of time.
Are there any other parts in this area that look like they came from this machine?
Yeah, no, Gent's gonna ask proper. Does any of these other parts belong to your physical form? Because I don't mind reattaching.
No, but then most of the parts on me currently also do not originally belong to me. I was disassembled.
Composite construction.
I was disassembled in the field and reconstructed here with spare parts.
The Modron of Theseus.
The
Why?
reference escapes me.
There you go. Well, would you like to come with us? Because we can.
Looks over
some of
at
my friends here are crack engineers, but even if we can't whip together some treads or legs or something for you, we could carry you about.
Looks over at Skuz, who asked why. Unknown, though this information would be valuable. Looks back at Grummond. Looks around. There should be no need to carry. There should be enough mechanics here to fabricate a self-propelled vehicle of some kind.
My apologies if this is a rude question, but as you can imagine, we've been through some things. If we give you legs back, you're not going to turn around and try to stomp on us or attack us or anything like that, are you?
Surveyors are non-combat units.
Are you part of the law guys?
Define law, guys.
Shoot. Nikki forgot the name of... the name of the...
Inevitables?
Thank you, yes. The incorrigibles? The indomitables?
Inevitables.
Thank you.
No. Surveyors are not a member of the inevitable class Celestial.
Are you aligned with what they want?
The line of questioning is not clear.
I'm not good at words. Common's not my first language. Why is the -3 charisma person asking these questions?
The inevitables are trying to kill us.
Nikki's curious. Scuzz don't know how to word this right.
The inevitables are trying to kill us currently. We are trying to get to something that has been lost down here.
If you are being hunted by an inevitable, then you will likely die. However, surveyors are not part of law enforcement. Therefore, it is not my prerogative to kill you.
Would you be aware of what was it, Collier route?
Collier route that sees the ends of days.
So, thanks for a second. Are you referring to Collier route, that what sees the end of days?
Yes.
Yes.
I am familiar with their work, though have not worked directly with them before.
Would you be aware of why this area may be under their purview?
Collier route, that what sees the end of days, is an arbitration unit. It determines the legal punishment. It does not enforce.
The sort of thing that hands down judgments and then leaves enforcement up to other aspects of the society?
Yes. That what sees the end of days will pass judgment based on the law, and then pass the execution of that judgment to either another Kolyarut, a Marut, or, hang on, let me find the third one.
Garut. Swatharan says, I am Garut.
A Kolyarut,
There is a series.
Marut, or a Zelakut, depending on the source of the infraction.
And why are you here? I mean, maybe not here, but why are you on this plane?
Unknown. This was removed
That's a
along
bummer.
with the previous information.
Well, that's rude. I'm so sorry.
What is your last memory of record then? Where were you?
My last memory of record is being reconstructed within this room.
Before that, I mean. You have a gap, you mentioned.
Yes. Prior to... Thanks for a second. Error. Unknown amount of time. This unit is a surveyor. Our task, our purpose, is to survey various aspects of the orderly realms in order to ensure that the best word that I can think of for your tongues would be code is enforced.
He's a code inspector.
That checks out. We're not doing very good.
So before this unknown gap of time, were you actively inspecting something?
Yes, my task before unknown period of time was surveying. His sort of head starts to twitch as he's trying to. It seems like he's definitely trying to recall something. Unknown. Damage sustained seems to have damaged my memory.
Let's see about getting you fixed up then, and maybe you can keep an eye on things if you do decide to come with us.
Certainly.
And Gent's gonna see about pulling together some level of, because it referenced that there was enough mechanics here to build something together, I think, right?
Yeah.
Scuzz will help with that.
You can either give
Put
me,
together some legs.
you can either give me a Tinker's Tools check or a Smith's Tools check, or both.
I'll do Tinker's.
I am expertise at Smith's tools, so I will do that.
Cool.
Oh. Scuzz will just give somebody advantage. He's just using his tiny hands to just get the nuts and bolts out.
Advantage
And
guidance.
I'm just gonna keep on doing this.
Wow, yeah. It's like your
what
third
attribute
one?
on Smith's tools?
Intelligence.
So 34 for Gent with a natural 20. And guidance.
That's a 20.
So as you sort of like look around, there's definitely not enough here to make legs, but you sort of see what he was referring to, and you very quickly put together a fairly rudimentary wheelchair that he can be sort of transitioned from the hanging position that he's in onto. You sort of remove the basically the holding wires and things that are hanging him in, and as you pull him off, it looks like, based on what's around him, so he has one arm right now and is in a wheelchair. It looks like they were trying to somebody or something was trying to repurpose him using the sort of the mechanical core of the surveyor as the sort of like essence of a different construct.
Can we affix a second arm to him so he can operate the wheelchair?
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be enough parts to make a second arm. However, he doesn't seem to mind only using one arm for the wheelchair.
Can we make the wheelchair so that it's more of a wheel cart? So where the wheels are turning simultaneously, but there's one thing that he has to steer. They have to steer.
As you actually like put him into it, he uses his the one arm that he still has. You watch as the fingers of the arm sort of split open, and several different sort of like clockwork tools pop out. And he takes the hand down to like where the where his waist ends, and very quickly begins sort of like wiring himself into the mechanics of the chair that you've put together.
Oh. So he's just wheeling himself around.
And
Love it.
turn the chair into legs.
Yay!
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Love it. Also, love.
But his
He's
legs.
on wheels.
Do you
Wheels.
remember where you were when your memory errors out? We have a map. I'll like ask Fel. Can you?
That's all. If you were anywhere within the city, you can probably find it.
Unknown. The last memory of a location that I have is some form of ruin amidst a grassy field.
Probably not here then.
I was there with a
Mysteries
purpose.
for the road, then.
3 people talked at once. What was that?
He said, I was there with a purpose.
Well, perhaps a mystery for the road, then. One to take with us to keep things interesting.
I can do my best to fill in any information that I may have, if you have questions. As he begins to wheel, like the wheelchair just begins to spin on its own, and he rolls out of the room.
Yep.
You know what happened here?
From what I gather, there was an enforcement of arbitration based on a law settled by Collier Root that what sees the end of days.
Do you know if this colony route has a particular concentration of law, property, successions, criminal enforcement?
Binding oaths.
So when someone makes a promise, like a big one.
One that has been bound with legal contract, yes.
All right.
Magically, of
Narrows
course.
it down a bit.
A mortal justice system would not be enough to enforce the will of a Collier Root.
Of course. Everyone, I'd like you to meet Proper. They're going to be coming with us for a time, at least.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to properly meet you, Proper.
Proper, this is everybody. Titania, my wife.
Hello.
Valdath, my wife. Ithram, Vespia, Sin.
Not wife,
Alana.
not wife, not wife,
Who's,
not wife.
Hello.
who? Actually, Sin is in what form right now?
Zara.
Zara. Zara, Drummond of the Bellmenders, from Swiggle. Everybody around. Scuzz Buckets of Bucket Street. Taram.
I understand we're descended from the original inhabitants of Coral Home.
Which you might want to keep under wraps, I'm thinking, Drummond. If there's a promise that was made and now has to be enforced by the plane of law, you don't know if your descending from here might implicate you as a party in the whole process.
If it would,
Is
if
there
it
somewhere-
would, then he would have already been affected by the law.
Never mind. Apparently, I'm worried for nothing.
And I don't think I don't appreciate your worry, because I do. But I'm almost 3 centuries old. It's a bit late to start worrying about sharing information now.
You got the rectangle, the swipey way rectangle.
Did it have to get slotted into the door, or did it slide through and was
It's slotted in and
reclaimable?
the door unlocked, but you can still reclaim it.
Okay. Yeah. It's still in the door, Scuzz, if you'd like.
Can we take it out of the slot and the door remains open, or if we remove it, the door closes?
And the door is open right now. It doesn't seem to be on any sort of automated hinge.
Oh, so Gint has removed the card and the door has remained open.
You can remove it if you want.
Well, the door is open, but the card is still in it right now, and it looks like you can take the card out and the door will stay open.
Great. This guy still was like, ha! He does that motion of pulling it out, and the door remains open. He's like, great. And
Gent's gonna make one more. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go. You say your thing.
Gent's gonna make one more turn of the room to see if there's anything salvageable, like those blueprints or parts or anything like that worth taking.
Investigation check.
Okay.
While he's doing that, Scuzz walks over to Proper.
Another natural 20. 25.
Just eating them up tonight. Save some for the rest of us.
I was gone last week.
With a natural 20, you spot a small metal rectangle. You pick it up, and it's very similar to the card you've already got. This one has different markings on it, and where the one card has a blue stripe on one side, this one has a red stripe on the other, on that same side.
Keys to find keys.
This is now CPM, not CPM. Containment SCP. Thank you. Yes.
And Gen will lean over to Valdeth on the way out. If that blue one was a key, I found the red one.
We're going to have to find a green one and a
whispered
yellow.
Whispered to Valdeth so no one else can overhear.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We need to find a green one and a yellow one next, then.
As you're whispering that, Scuzz is running up to Proper and holds up the one with the blue one. Is like, do you know what this is?
Some sort of key card.
Do you know if there are other ones?
Presumably, considering this one is demarked as being blue, I would surmise then that there are others demarked with different colors.
Do you know what the other ones are?
No.
And what those other colors may or might. Okay.
I am not from this city.
No, but I figured being in here. But also, they didn't treat you very good in here. That's not right. Okay, well, I guess we gotta find.
He has a weird look on his face. As weird as a most like half constructed clockwork creature can. I do not have a memory of being treated at all. I do not know if they treated me bad or good.
Well, you're not.
I mean, for all we know, Scuzz, they might have been destroyed out on some battlefield, and an engineer brought them back here to try and rebuild them as best they could. I wouldn't exactly call that treating them bad.
Conversely, though, to Scuzz's
we don't know
point,
that yet.
I could have also been destroyed. I could have also been sabotaged and brought back here to be disassembled and reconstructed.
They could have been a part of like the bad guys. They could have been a part of the good guys. All we know though is that they're missing parts of the everything in their head, and they just don't know. And that not knowing, but also knowing that you don't know, is really a bad thing, and it's bad for your brain.
Can you eat?
I'm fine. I got heals.
Sorry, what was that? Who was that question directed to, Craig?
To Proper.
Do you eat? Yeah.
I have no need of mechanical sustenance.
I mean, need of it is not necessarily the thing. You've had a rough time of it, and sometimes it's enjoyable to have a little bit to eat or drink afterwards.
He looks down. He looks down at his largely skeletal clockwork construction. I do not know that this one has an internal containment unit for food.
When he looks back up, or we're using he/him for Proper.
That seems to be what I'm using for him. Yes.
Okay. All right. When he looks back up, then Grumman is just holding out a flask.
That'll oil you right up.
It looks confused by the flask.
I think respect the thing that does not eat.
And to be fair, as a volatile liquid, alcohol would probably work opposite to a lubricant of that sort, mechanically speaking.
I just wanted to make the offer.
This body.
That's not what the adventure is.
This body seems to be largely constructed from copper, brass, gold, and steel. I'm unsure as to the effects of alcohol on those metals, but I feel like I shouldn't try it.
Speaking from experience, not good unless it's a very specific treatment that usually gets wiped off immediately afterwards.
Looks over to Tanya.
You said you weren't from the city. Do you know where the contract that got signed would be?
No.
Do you remember seeing it?
No.
Okay.
So, let's continue on our route then.
Come on, Proper, let's go. Is there anything else you remember? Sorry, Skuz is just gonna talk with Proper as we walk.
In regards to what?
Anything that you haven't already spoken about before? Between the gap stuff that you remember, the coming down here, the being reassembled. You don't remember snippets of anything before you came down here, or about the person that was trying to assemble you, or anything like that?
No.
You have a favorite sound?
I will think on that.
Give me the name of all your family members.
So, where are you wanting to go?
Continue further along the route.
Okay.
Which means back to the maintenance room and then out the way that we're supposed to go.
And look for red doors.
So yeah, you actually came out the way that would continue on to get to where Proper was. So you can just continue down that corridor, passing by a few additional turnoffs, but eventually getting around to where there is a sewer grate exit. There is a ladder. You see a few more maintenance drones just sort of skittering about, but nothing tremendously dangerous seems to occur. There doesn't seem to be any traps as you're moving along, or any. Doesn't seem like they were in the habit of trapping their sewer system.
Seems like a bad plan. It seems like a bad plan if you want your sewer system to keep working properly.
How high is the exit grate above us?
It's about 15 feet up a ladder.
Okay. Before we stick our heads out, does anybody mind if I send Shikara out to see if the coast is clear?
Did you want to, by the way, did you ever want to, like, as the group of you, take a rest and potentially Ithram bind a cat to you?
Yes, I would.
It'd be nice to get my full hit points back.
Yes.
Well, you can continue on
I
if you
think
want.
full hit points requires long rest.
It does.
We've already taken one short rest.
I believe you can't take 2 short rests between a long rest.
So you can take as many.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends.
Oh wait, no, hang on.
That's Baldur's Gate 3.
Right.
That depends on who. It depends entirely on the DM.
Yeah, you can take as many short rests as you have.
But yeah,
as you have hit dice, but
raw, you don't even have to spend hit dice.
Well, guess who can't?
You can literally just take a short rest after every fight, and the warlock, for example, can get their spells back every. Short rest.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime there's an hour that you're just not
Why it was so
doing a
hard
thing.
to have any long fights with you fuckers in Conflux.
Yep, because we would do it every single time.
We need a tea time. We need just a little
Everybody
snap.
takes a siesta. every
What you
single
needed to do, Jack, was just interrupt our short rests.
Yeah. Oh, I was getting there.
If we are taking a short rest, are we taking a short rest down? Obviously, we're down the sewers, but are we doing it back in the room that we got Proper from, or are we doing it outside of there?
Or do we want to use the key and spend a bit of time in the sewers?
The only reason I ask is because I wanted Skuz to look at the key card reader thing.
I could do either.
I haven't used much of my. I regained a bit of energy from the last rest, so I'm not too expended.
I'm okay.
I'm
We can
little
keep.
wounded, but I can keep going.
Same.
between these.
Aside from that, yes.
Keep going.
If we can get to a place where there aren't, moving siege towers above, it probably won't be able to
I don't
As
know,
far as the
Titania.
key-
I have a suspicion that maybe this entire city can eventually just rise above the waves at any point.
I've been thinking about that. What if we tried to get where we're trying to go by just going outside into the water?
So, here's the thing. What the fuck was that?
We all
now
know
you're
what it
just fucking
was.
with us.
We all know what it was.
Having fun.
Yeah,
That just said
There's immersion, and then there's using Sirenscape just to prank us like you're 6.
that just said gas releases. It did not say farts. Okay.
To be fair, that's like swamp bubble level gas.
That's that's the bog of eternal stench.
That is in a sound pack called Sewers. Okay.
I want to be clear. Sirenscape knew exactly what they were doing, naming that. Whoever named that gas escape was giggling to himself while he was typing it out.
Giving very bog of eternal stench. You want to do a David Bowie inspired Labyrinth game? You got to make sure you have that sound pack in there.
So, are you continuing up?
Anyways, where the fuck were we?
Guess we're moving along.
Deciding on whether or not you want to take a short rest or not.
Yeah.
I think the consensus was to go.
And the thing that Titania had proposed was going outside the domes. And Valdez's thing was, so, while there might be constructs everywhere, they're sort of in organized positions, whereas outside, any kind of sea monsters might attack us from any angle. And B, there might not be a way back in from the globe outside, aside from punching a hole in it.
These are all fair points.
Work.
Go ahead.
That's literally all I was saying. That does work.
Well, those are all fair points.
I mean, it works as long as you're not concerned with, keeping the ocean out once you've made the hole.
Anyways,
and now I'm done interrupting Jeremy.
In the sewers, there is a particular... Well, there's a risk of explosions in certain instances, and area of effect kind of things are much harder to be effective with.
Oh no, we have to get out of the sewers to go anywhere. But I was talking about getting out of the dome, as Titania suggested, going around the water.
Roughly what time of day is it?
Make a nature or survival check.
Okay.
I'd like to do
Unless
that.
you've got that.
If you have keen mind, you know what time it is.
Look, I could only optimize this guy so much.
25.
17.
Gent? No idea. Tanya, based on how long you've been down here versus when you came in, what time it was when you got here, it's probably somewhere around mid-afternoon.
The sun's up in the middle of the sky.
All right.
And I'm going to be honest, I totally forgot that just because you haven't mentioned that there's not purring in the back of my head constantly, I forgot that Felix was with us.
There is purring in the back of your head constantly.
Okay.
Boy, he must be having a field day.
I don't know. Can he can't teleport, can he? Or like Misty Step short distances or anything like that? Not that I'm aware of. I think I did like an Arcana check to figure out what kind of creature he was and what kind of capabilities he
No,
have.
he can. Yeah, so you know that he can. He can. It's not that he can teleport. He can shift into the ethereal plane. He can plane shift himself, or he can plane shift basically once per day, and just has a few other magical abilities and can become invisible and things like that. You don't think he can teleport, but he does just fly as well.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Then.
Well, hover specifically.
I'll have him hover nearby, and since we would have to open the grate for him. No,
you haven't bound to him yet.
Yeah. which is why I can just straight up summon Shakar on the other side of the grate. I don't need to see it. But I'll summon Shakar for 15 feet down. I'll summon him like 25 feet up above so that he's got some distance, with the directive to kind of circle up high, be on the lookout for catapult ammunition flying his direction, and any automatons, and let us know. Or
so you can still hear.
I'll look through his eyes, actually.
You can still hear the large golem stomping around. It's definitely not near you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shakar summons, flies around. Shakar,
Hand on the wall.
Go ahead
Eyes
and
go blank.
go and give me a perception check through Shakar's eyes.
All right. Shakar has advantage. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it for Shakar's. Second.
Was it?
That's the one thing I don't have saved
Oh.
on Roll20 is his perception. I just
I mean,
know
it's
that he has
your
advantage.
perception just with advantage.
Oh, my. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then
Because you're the one looking.
do I get hit advantage from using his eyes?
Yeah, you get advantage from
Using
using his
his
eyes. Yeah.
Okay. 9.
You don't see any particularly active automatons on the other side of it, or constructs of any kind.
Other than the big guy.
You don't see the big guy. You just know he's further away because you can hear him.
Okay.
The buildings are tall enough that you can't always see him.
Okay. The coast looks relatively clear.
All right.
I think we'll probably want to move fast. I've seen the like connections in between these bubbles. Would this giant siege engine thing be able to follow us through into a different one?
No.
Okay. And is there coverage in between those, or is it like a clear? I'm imagining like one of those hotel bubble walkways.
You weren't able to see the connection. You weren't able to see the connection because of the distance. You were just able to see that they were there.
Okay.
Like a skyway. Except
Yeah.
for water.
That's it. All right.
Oh, like the Atlanta Aquarium. Yeah.
I think we should go fast once we're up above the surface. I don't know if we want to try. We can try and sneak, but
I assume Pass Without Trace is worn off by now, right?
it's only an hour. Yeah, probably.
Did
Yeah.
it take the snow? Or did it... Okay.
Yeah,
I
even
mean,
while
I had
for a
to
while.
build a voice box and then
Oh, yeah,
build
that's
a
right,
wheelchair and then.
Yeah.
I mean, even with IKEA instructions, that's going to take a minute.
You can read those? No, I'm just kidding.
With proper being like,
That's-
and you put that, what? You put that one here? Nope. Turn it port side. Nope. Incorrect.
Like, when assembling proper, it is best to be 2 people.
I can.
Do you have one of these tools? You don't have one of these tools? You're fucked.
I literally cannot think of IKEA anymore, really nothing to do with the game we're playing, without thinking of the Grady Hendrix novel Horror Store, which if you are a horror fan, fucking read it because it's amazing.
How horror are we? What kind of horror are we talking here?
Horror.
So,
Yes. That's what I said.
Okay. Sometimes that sometimes can be missed.
Because guess what, Jeremy? I definitely thought the first one, but I was like, no, it's Jeremy. They're definitely talking about horror.
Yes.
Get your mind with the cutter.
It is essentially a ghost story that takes place in an IKEA style store late at night, and each of the chapters it's the name of like one of the brands that makes no sense, and it starts with like the diagram, like whole infographic thing.
Okay.
It is an
What even is a
amazing book.
Jorvenskier wrench?
So, are you going out of the sewers or not?
I think we
We
are.
Yeah.
have to go out of the sewers. The question is, are we trying to sneak? I can cast Pass Without Trace again, but that's eating into higher spell slots at this point.
Let's
peek out.
Let's make sure the castle isn't immediately outside.
We've already confirmed that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I think we can just go for the exit.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
What'd you
think
say?
it will be able to follow us. The question is, if we run, will the next place we go into, if we catch?
Yeah, let's
things
not try and draw too much attention, and maybe activate a
All right.
similar thing in the next dome.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want me to stay here and scout for the thing if it comes at us, or do you want me to run ahead and make sure that it's not going to pop up ahead?
I think if you're going to separate from us at all, it should be ahead to make sure there's not another one on the other side.
I can do that.
I can go with Skuz as well. The two of us can. Think about
Fucking dad and son Naruto running to scout ahead.
Well, then, one more moment. Take 10 minutes to recast, because it only lasts an hour. Telepathic bond.
Okay.
And when we're ready, I'm going to do Pass Without Trace at 3rd level.
Great.
All right.
The two
Excellent.
that go ahead won't be able to benefit from it, but
We're hella sneaky.
yeah.
No worries.
I cast
Is
a movable
Grumman just gonna go
object on the
invisible?
grate.
Yeah, when it's time. Yes.
She's got to go ghost.
Love how,
Oh my God, I can go
love how
ghost.
there's a side game of dad of boy happening.
Yeah, no, Scuzz is gonna go ghost. I can just do that.
Boy.
We clap hands. Scuzz goes invisible, or Grumman goes invisible. Scuzz is see-through, transparent. Yeah.
Yeah. Grumman takes a big,
Well, no, we don't have anybody here that's a transparent yet.
I was gonna say.
In game. I mean, my spouse is a transparent.
There you go. I just had to point at myself.
No, yeah.
All right, so marching
Grumman
orders.
takes
Scuzz and Grumman going up first.
Yep.
Going up first, and we're booking it to the to the bridge to make sure that is clear. We're scouting.
big swig of Everclear right before we open the
There you
door.
go.
All right. So, you climb the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Move.
This is uncomfortably action music.
The,
I was gonna say, it's the blood pumping.
move the sewer grate to one
I'm
side.
down.
Drink Everclear to turn invisible. One of you does. Go ahead and give me stealth checks if you're trying to move ahead without being noticed.
Yep. Little alarmed that we don't have advantage.
Christ, I pulled it up. I was like a 6. 30. I think you have advantage.
Oh.
Because you're invisible.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
invisible, so
there-
you have advantage.
There it is. Yep. Yeah, they got it.
So it's a 21, and then I'm doing guidance as well. So it's a 22.
Okay. So, that one doesn't loop. Interesting.
So it was real exciting for about
Yeah, it's just a sting.
60 seconds there.
There we go.
It was really just for the dice roll, not for anything else.
Yeah.
That's what we rolled.
So, you get out, and you begin moving relatively quietly. One of you invisible, though less quiet than the one that is not invisible. Yeah, that was the horns in the music. It wasn't horns in the game.
Yeah. The ambient horns, not the actual
ambient,
horns.
Yeah, ambient horns, not real horns. Fake
Very
horns.
Star
Fake horns,
Wars-y.
people.
Very Star Wars.
As you begin to move towards where you've been indicated, I'm going to assume Valdeth went. It's over there.
Yeah.
You begin heading towards what you assumed to be where you assumed the thoroughfare connector over to the next hab is. You do notice that there are a few more active constructs in this area. You sort of sidle along buildings and try not to draw too much attention to yourselves.
Scuzz is relaying all this information. I don't think he's speaking it. Does it require an action to send the visuals, or is it the same as talking?
We're all just telepathically bonded, so
Scuzz is sending the visuals of what he is seeing.
you're all my familiar now.
Look through my eyes.
Look through my buttery eyes.
Yeah, so you do. You sort of see small, like, sort of grouped together constructs moving through the streets in what seem like almost patrol patterns. Some amount of them seem to be having a conversation in a language none of you understand, even Grummond with his Song of Sun and Moon. It's that odd, like, staticky sound that you heard.
Can you somehow share this with Propa?
I don't think Proper was able to get telepathic bonded, right?
No.
I don't think he was, but like, is there any way we could like share this language with him? With them, do they recognize this? Can they decipher it?
One moment. And we're all in a spot where we can hear it then?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Well, I mean,
Scuzz
is like referring it back to you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have my own separate telepathy.
Yeah. So yeah, you sort of beam the conversation to them.
Yeah,
for a second.
Telephoning him.
Telephoning.
Yes.
My separate telepathy is my cure cover band.
This is a machine language spoken by constructs. Not strictly speaking a language, it is encoded information.
Isn't that just what language is? Information being passed that is in a particular syntax that is coded to anybody who does not understand it.
In this particular case, no, because it is more information that can be passed soundlessly through electronic wiring, or vocally, though difficult to understand if you do not have the correct processor.
Can you understand what it means?
No.
Very well.
That would be amazing. That would be some serious mechanist shit if Sin convinced him and suddenly Grumman's like, oh, I can hear it now.
If I had my original form, possibly. But the mechanics of this body does not translate.
Fairly enough.
But
unfortunate.
It is communication. Just not the kind that magics would help you interpret.
What's the pattern of people moving? Is it a fairly... If I can look at this looking for gaps, basically, and where we might be able to pass through without getting spotted by a patrol, something like that, anything?
You do hear the sound of the larger golem heading in this direction.
Let it pass.
Scuzz is gonna hide.
Titania, for your question, there doesn't seem to be a specific pattern. It doesn't look like... It looks like they are patrolling sort of out of habit more than in an organized fashion.
Okay. So that means that there are gaps then.
Yes, there are definitely gaps in their patrol patterns.
Okay.
Has it been more than a minute?
Not yet.
Okay.
I think it's farther away now.
It sounds like it's moving sort of parallel to the area you're in.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah. Like on the next street over.
One or two streets over. You can't see it, but you can hear it.
Yeah.
Quickly and quietly then, or?
There's quite a bit of the others up here. Just bear that in mind.
Is there a... So if all of these other constructs are kind of going at a guard's... maybe not a guard's, but, excuse me.
A patrol pace.
A patrol pace, thank you. With Scuzz relaying it visually, could they see the sequence in which they could get out and find the blind spot to sneak out?
Yeah, you could pretty easily. You don't even have to roll for that. You can definitely see, like, you could from where you're positioned, you could probably like call it and like give people enough time to get up and out. There is a building fairly nearby to the sewer grate. Mostly it would just be about your timing and judging how fast they get up that ladder.
I think between Scuzz and Scuzz sending this specifically to Valdeth, they would be able to time that very well.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go over to the building because his thing only lasts a minute. So I don't want to be out.
So you head over to the door seems to be open.
I'm a ghost for 10 minutes.
You push it open.
Yeah, boy.
Step inside. You find yourself, Grummond, in what seems like the back hallway of some sort of like service establishment. You smell mead.
No.
Here we are. This seems like a great place. Grummond is looking for what's in here.
Give me an investigation check.
Valdeth will coordinate the slipping out with Scuzz to get everyone moving.
Grummond is conspicuously absent from that planning.
All right. So go ahead. Both of you give me. I don't know what a coordination check would be.
Intelligence with proficiency?
Or perception? I don't know.
One of you give me perception, and the other one give me an intelligence saving throw.
My perception is plus 11. My intelligence save is plus 1.
My intelligence save is a plus 9. Let's go.
There you go. Beautiful.
Hey, teamwork makes the dream work.
27.
12.
It's all good.
All right, yeah. The combination there is more than enough, though. Yeah, you begin the process of, like, hold, go. And then, someone getting sent out. While you're doing that, Grummond, you sort of navigate your way into a room, and you find yourself in a large brewing, like, keg room. There's just there's like 7 or 8 standing barrels for fermenting, all of which have the have like a branded, like, symbolized name sort of burned into the side of them. All of them say City Gone Mead.
And they're like recent or active?
No. This is ancient. Like it just.
Okay.
It does look it does look like the facility is kept up. And the mead that the mead that you're smelling doesn't smell old.
I was thinking, those things would be vinegar by now if they're thousands years old.
That was my question. Okay, can I figure out where that smell is coming from?
It smells like it's coming from these kegs. Like, the kegs look ancient, but the smell does not smell ancient.
Okay. How big are they?
I don't know the size, like dimension wise would be, but they are 50-gallon kegs.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I was just wondering.
So what you're saying is they're mead mix size.
You broke up a little, but did you say medium?
No, I said mead mix.
Okay.
I don't get the joke.
Mimic, but mead.
Ah, there you go.
No, so they are medium-sized. We'll go with that.
Yeah. So the 50-gallon kegs, however large that is.
All right.
Shit, the RAF's here.
Shut up.
It's a speeder.
This is a very Star Wars soundtrack. Yes.
That was actually just like that was proper. Just sorry, was that correct?
How many of them are there?
About 7 or 8. Something like you're sort of trying to do a head count. It looks like there's 7 full and 1 half full.
Okay. So and that one's already tapped.
Yeah.
Okay. I will pull out a just a wooden tankard.
From what I can tell, an average 50-gallon keg is about waist height to a human.
Okay.
Yeah. I will pull out
So
a
about
tankard.
Slightly shorter than a dwarf.
Yeah, it's like shoulder height to Grumman. Good thing I have my Dragon's Hall. I will pull out a wooden tankard and see if I can draw anything off the tapped one.
Yeah, you can fill a mug.
All right.
Or fill a tankard in this
Take
case.
a sip. See what the bouquet is.
Through your like well-experienced self, this smells like. Now that you're getting a closer smell of it, this smells and you imagine probably tastes like mead made by people that that know the mechanics of making mead, but do not have smell receptors or taste buds.
Mead made by automaton.
I will take a sip.
It tastes like mead that's made by people that can't taste mead.
Grumman goes, well,
it's a little chewy.
Found something for proper to drink. So the looking around, out of character, my assumption is that for whatever reason, the automatons have taken over making this city on mead. Does that seem like what's happened? Or
City gone mead, and yes, that is what it looks like it's happening.
All right, I apologize. How do you spell it? Because I thought it was city gone.
Yeah, gone.
It's-
G-O-N-E. It
yeah,
sounded like you
it's
said city
City gone.
Okay, yeah,
City
that's-
gone
that's-
mead.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Okay.
There you
Okay, so then based on that, I guess it was after the city fell.
You would imagine.
Is there any? Okay. Can I look around and try to surmise the process by which it's being made?
You can. By this point, the rest of you are all inside the building as well, and you can tell that Grumman's not with you.
I follow the smell of mead. Valdez says as she follows the smell of mead.
Damn it.
He's going to die looking for mead.
I'm not going to follow. If he dies, he dies.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check, Grumman.
I'm gonna go save my dad.
just sin Rambo GIF. If he dies, he dies.
Yes, very much so. Sin has saved that fucker too many times as it is.
The only time you lied is when you said "I'm sorry" at the end.
Okay, that is a fair point. I am not sorry in the slightest.
12.
With 12? There doesn't seem anything particularly special about how they're making it. It seems mostly it's in the mix that they seem to be failing.
Can I fix it?
Rocky.
Not with the resources you have at your disposal at the moment. No.
No. But just like the recipe, because I what I imagined is as everybody's coming in the back, Grumman is like writing out, standard Grumman writing, so like tongue sticking out the side of his mouth. He's got some paper out and he's like writing out instructions.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely write out instructions and leave it. You just don't know if they'll be useful or not.
So it's all like Right, so I give it 3 stars. You're missing a bit of this, and I think if you don't mind taking a bit of criticism from an old hand in the industry, and it's just like sort of all, and he goes and basically writes a better recipe for this meat.
Yeah, you gather they're probably using too much honey. They're using too much of all the add-ins, basically. Rather than it's not being mixed properly.
Right.
Because it's coming out. It's coming out a little bit more. It's coming out more like syrupy than it should.
Okay.
It's too thick.
Yes.
They're not using enough yeast.
More of a honey wine than a mead.
I mean, more of a honey jam than a mead, really.
Fuck, that sounds good. Yeah, okay, so I will, do my best to, I mean, I assume I get stopped at some point, but Grumman is attempting to write helpful little notes.
Yeah, those of you that were following the smell of mead, you find Grumman penciling in, doing his very best to make it legible.
I don't think they're going to read that, Grummond.
I know, but it hurts my heart to leave it. He points to the mugs. You're welcome to take a sip if you want.
Skuz's whole head is in the mead.
Oh no.
Valdez picks up a mug, takes a sip.
Before the goblin head got in there.
Oh, there are several mugs, so Skuz picks up a mug, takes a sip, makes a face, puts it back down. That's thick.
Skuz, your face is stuck.
Oh no! Hold on, my son's drowning. I'll go. Don't worry, I'm going to experience in this.
Skuz's face is just stuck I can't make him make it.
Put one foot against,
if you subtract, if you go based off of your not armored AC, does a 22 hit you?
Yes.
As Skuz actively finds the mead mick.
You realize the inside of this mug has teeth and is biting you.
Skuz is flailing and kicking.
13 points of piercing damage.
Fucking told you.
Fuck, you know.
And Gent shoot the mimic.
I already no. Wait,
to the rest of you, it just looks like Skuz's face is stuck in the mug.
Yeah, that's the thing. I already declared that Grumman is going up to try to help, so now Grumman is stuck to the fucking thing too.
So Grumman, you gotta grab the mug, and you can't unclasp your hands, and you are now swinging Skuz around by the mug.
Oh God, Titania, it's like you're gonna have to cut my hands off again.
Bang.
Again.
So make an attack roll with disadvantage. If you don't hit it, you will hit either Grumman or Skuz.
Wait, Skuz is a ghost.
Good thing I have focused fire. I can cancel that disadvantage.
Sin, Skuz is a ghost.
I mean, not if you.
Does that count?
Not if you're gonna stick your face in the mug. You would have to not be a ghost in order to try to drink
Oh
it.
boy.
And I'm using my last inspiration.
Fair.
27
There you
for
go.
15 piercing damage.
All right, yeah, you shoot the mug.
As soon as we hear the gunshot.
Yeah, you all hear a gunshot. You know who else hears a gunshot?
Yeah,
Yep.
the door.
Oh, no.
The door
No.
that I'm standing near. How much does that weigh? Could I just guesstimate? Is it
I
wooden?
could have
Is it metal?
stabbed it. God damn it.
We could have punched it against.
The door next to you. How much does it weigh?
Yeah, the one that we snuck through.
Probably weighs about 20 pounds, based on the size of it.
Well, I'm guessing it's a
Oh,
movable
fuck, it's a
object.
big- yeah, it's a big door. So apparently
It's made of
too
stone.
big. Oh, it's made of stone.
Yeah.
All right, then I just pull out an iron spike and set it up against the door and cast a movable object on that.
Hell yeah.
I love this.
Ultimate
No.
door stop.
The ultimate doorstop. I'm not saying that while yes, Scuzz did some foolishness, at least it was quiet foolishness.
Yeah.
The mug is still on Scuzz's face, by the way.
Scuzz is gonna stab it. Scuzz is gonna stab the heck out of his face.
We need to go.
Yeah, no,
now.
if we hear that, I know that the doorstop doesn't give a shit about what's coming this way, so we
Hold
need
on.
to go.
Let me stab this mug on my face. You guys don't actually have to stay for me to stab this mug.
Sin literally looks at their wrist to check their non-existent, probably doesn't exist in this universe watch, and says, "They have 5 minutes, and then I am walking, or 5 seconds, and then I'm walking off without them."
You kill the mug mick as it spills out into this horrible like half octopus creature that just slops onto the ground.
That was terrible, Dad. We gotta get out of here.
Is it
Running.
Is that coming up the street that we just came up, or is it coming up from the other side?
You look down. It sounds like it's coming down the street that's heading towards like there's like a cross section. To the right is the exit. To the left is further into town. It's coming down that street.
Okay.
Yeah,
but it's
we need
through
to
the way
go.
that we just
And
came through,
Valis
right?
is like, we're going
No,
further.
It's through the way you have to go.
Okay, awesome. Well, at least nothing should
That
come
was
up
the
behind
plan
us.
of shooting. Maybe hold off on the shooting when we're trying to be unobtrusive in the future.
So, what are you doing?
Running.
Just flat out?
Yep.
Alright.
Yep.
Yep.
Give me athletics checks or acrobatics. Athletics or acrobatics.
Run fast.
13. Awesome.
24.
22.
18.
12.
I'm
Sin.
unnecessarily fit for a wizard.
Was it just me, or was there the sound of breaking glass when that
No,
12
heard
rolled?
that.
Yeah.
I feel like Sin is having way too much fun with the Sirenscape, but it's also really fun to play with Sirenscape. I
I'm
get
enjoying
it.
it. I
It's
am
really good.
100% enjoying it.
It's very good.
No, it's great.
Thank you, Sirenscape, for making D&D immersive and scary. Holy shit.
So you begin booking it. Vespia definitely trips over the counter trying to get out as you're just sort of like gotta go. And there's some bits of glass.
Gotta go faster.
Hit the ground, scatter and shatter.
Up the rear.
It brings up the
Well,
rear.
notably, Valdet is mechanically the slowest person here, so it's probably Valdet bringing up the rear. With a
Well,
speed of
not if
25
we
feet
trip.
innately.
Not for those of us that trip.
Yeah.
I mean, and Ithram can also just walk slower than you.
I mean, yeah.
And I also can cast Vortex Warp
Yeah. So
as many times as we need.
as you get out.
Oh, is
to
that
the
one of your
street.
signature spells that you can just keep casting? Yeah.
Yep.
As you get out to the street in front of now exiting out you sort of came in the side door, and now you're exiting out the front door to get to the exit of the hub, you see first of all the sign that says "City on Me" just sort of shaking as the ground begins to shake harder, and to your left down the street you see a large castle-like construct heading this way.
I'm going to summon Reaper, wings, etc. I am going fast. Do all of its cannons and stuff have to move in one like block, or can it aim at multiple things?
You don't know.
Okay.
We see it though.
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay, I just need to double check because I can increase the range. How far away is it?
It's about what's a city block?
Usually about 100 feet.
Assortment of buildings that make up an allotment of a journey.
Thank you. So yeah, it's about 150 feet from where you're at.
Okay, 150 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. Then that would be... Yeah, so a fourth would make it... 60, that would be no.
All right, standard block in Manhattan is 80 meters by 274 meters, so about 264 by 900 feet. So
That's Manhattan, though.
That's in New
Manhattan.
York.
Yes.
That is a New York block, which is
So-
very different from an anywhere else block.
So
Yeah.
it's 150 feet. Bucket.
So
I'll
what happens
cast
when you
it.
try to fit fucking 4 million people on a tiny fucking island?
Yeah, I'll cast it. I'll cast Vortex Warp on it at 5th level.
Okay.
It needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Which
yeah,
I'm
but
sure
according to most census data that I'm finding, other cities have bigger blocks.
We'll say it's 150 feet. That works for me.
Yeah.
That gave me an average.
Yeah.
And you take a what save?
Constitution.
On save.
DC 19.
24.
Fuck. Alright, never mind. I
Right.
was just gonna try it, throw it back up into the sky, and have it fall on its back.
Doesn't seem like the magic takes hold. You do see, all of you see these sort of 6 sort of compartment doors on its chest slide up, revealing the muzzles of cannons.
Proper? What is that?
Something we should run from, he says as he wheels to the right and away.
Go fast, go fast, go fast. And Skuz.
He's not slowing down. He's just
No, yeah. Skuz is in ghost form, running towards the castle.
Running towards the castle. All right.
Yep. He's doing serpentine in very rogue fashion, dashing the entire way.
Yeah.
But yes.
He's running toward the castle.
He's running towards the castle in ghost form.
He is incorporeal.
Sure.
So disadvantage if the thing is shooting at him.
Jesus, I completely forgot that I go invisible.
Yay! Welcome to the party, pal.
God, I can do
so
that at will.
How far away are we from total cover from this thing?
That would be useful, Jeremy.
5 feet if you go further back into the building.
Really would.
But if we were running away and looking for cover, like
Running away and
around
looking
the
for
next
cover?
corner. Yeah.
Through the tunnel that heads to the next half.
Yeah, how far away is that?
It's about 25 feet to the right. You can see that there is a. You can see though that there is a closed like steel door. Like it's like sort of two like a split door.
Is there a visible like method of opening?
Not that you can discern from a distance, but it does look like there's some like mechanical panels on one side.
Is there
Which
like
is-
a locking bar across it, or is it just plain doors?
Yeah, plain doors. Proper is like heading towards those panels.
We
Okay.
head that way.
And this thing is how many feet away did we decide?
Roughly 150 feet at the moment, though approaching. So.
Skuz is gonna make himself
it's not
a
in
target.
range of the Emperor's Virtue then yet.
All right, so Skuz is
yeah.
heading towards it.
Dashing to get away then.
Valdez heading towards the door. Gets heading towards the door. Titania heading towards the door.
Go to the door, go to the door, go to the door.
Vespia.
Door.
Or Ithram. You've tried to cast a spell. Otherwise, you heading towards the door.
Yeah, heading towards the door.
Drummond.
Scuzz is not going.
I'm going to the robot. Dad, go to the door.
Ooh, I can help.
Grumman,
Dad,
get to
Dad,
the door.
sometimes you gotta let
got
your
it.
kid do what they gotta do.
I love you, son. I'm proud of you.
Neither of you can help.
If we live, I'm going to kill Grumman.
Why Grumman? It's because
I
the one running
already-
towards the robot.
In not using the telepathic bond, using my own telepathy so nobody else hears it, Vespia says, I've got that covered.
Vespia?
Sin says two.
She says
Vespia
that.
hears that.
Okay, okay.
She will just send back and let me help.
What did I do
Whoa, don't you fucking start.
All right, so, Scuzz, are you invisible when you're in ghost form, or are you just like transparent?
Incorporeal, yeah.
All right, cool.
So like, it can see Scuzz. He's like translucent.
So-
but does have disadvantage on attacks against Scuzz.
Well, it's a good thing then that it doesn't have to make attack rolls. I need you to make 3 dexterity saving throws. And
Okay.
let's see, what's the speed of everybody else?
25.
I'm going to turn into hang on, what's this one's speed? A direwolf. Get on before I switch to Valdos, because you move slower.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm going 50 feet.
My character sheet says my speed is 40, but I think that might have been from a spell somebody cast on me. Like
Probably.
a while back. So I think I'm at 30. I think I just have standard normal.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, 30 feet.
All right.
30 feet.
And Ithram, you were bringing up the rear intentionally, right?
Correct.
So, Ithram, I
might-
need you to make 3 dexterity saving throws. Sin, you're invisible, so it wouldn't be aiming at you.
Cool.
All right. Let's do this.
I'm so disappointed in my rolls.
An 18, a 15, and an 18 all fail.
Yeah, that checks out.
I'm gonna just roll them 7. All right.
Wow,
I'm gonna
roll
use
20
2
is just
I'm
like-
gonna use 2 of my inspirations for both of those. 14 and a 19. So
Both fail.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so, Scuzz, you'll be taking half damage because you have evasion.
Yeah.
Ithram, you won't be, because you don't have evasion.
Dakota, go ahead and roll a new character.
As if I don't already have a fucking
Right?
full stop.
I'm right there with you.
I have a Warforged. I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
Hey, I took a ballista. What could be worse than a ballista? Turns out cannonballs.
Cannonballs. Cannonballs.
All right, so Scuzz, coming at you, halved because of evasion. There's 31 points of bludgeoning damage, 23 points of bludgeoning damage, and 35 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's a lot of that's a lot of numbers.
That's 80, 31, 35,
Hold on.
57.
31.
Some of those are odd numbers, so you're going to lose some extra
Yep.
damage in there.
Say those numbers
That's
again, John.
89 halved.
44.
Well, because they're individual hits, so they will get halved individually, so you'll lose some extra damage in
43.
there.
So 31 would halve to 15.
15.
23 would halve to 11.
11.
And then
26.
35 would have to...
Plus 17 is 43.
Question.
Yes.
Here we go.
Question, John.
Yes.
So was it cast a spell and then run across? Like all
Yeah.
same turn, basically?
Yeah, same turn.
Okay, so that was already my action to cast
Yeah.
the 5th level.
Correct.
Okay, never mind then. No worries.
All right, and then...
I was going to try to do something cool.
For Ithram, I rolled less damage. 23, 34, and 23 points of bludgeoning damage.
Sorry, one more time.
23, twice, so...
80.
46 plus, 80.
Plus 34,
Okay.
yeah, so 80.
80 damage flat.
Points of bludgeoning
All
damage.
right, I'm fine.
As
You're not
Yeah,
fine.
I'm fine.
As
I'm
You got
fine.
hit with
array.
80 points of fucking damage. You're
As-
not fine.
as just an array
I'm
of
good.
cannon fire peppers the ground where Scuzz is like serpentining and Ithram is bringing up the rear. Ithram, you get thrown forward from the force of the impact, and your clothing catches fire. Scuzz, your clothing also catches fire, which is
Fuck,
impressive
tuck and roll.
considering that you're incorporeal.
I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost. Ghost fire. Oh my god. If Scuzz sees Ithram behind him, Scuzz is going to shout at him, "Ithram, get the fuck to the door. What are you doing out
He
here?"
is going to the door. He got hit with the other 3.
Oh, okay. I thought you were running towards Scuzz like a dum-dum.
Proper,
You can shout at Scuzz for being a dum-dum.
Proper has his like tool hand opened up and attached to the sort of the gearbox there, the panel. Looks over at the first group of you that get here. The door is unlocking, but manual force will make it open quicker.
Yeah, fuck that, Valdez says as she rips the doors open.
I mean, athletics check.
Yes, boo.
I think
25.
You grab and start pulling. There's a lot of resistance here. So you're moving it, but it's very slow.
Put your sword in there. Crowbar that.
Her sword would snap.
Yay, I get to cast a spell. I cast Tensor's Transformation on myself and fucking help.
Okay, so you are on fire. You take some additional damage.
I have 50 temporary hit points now. Top.
Nice.
You take 6 points of additional fire damage from burning.
Of note, because not only is my strength superhuman at 22, also my push, lift, and drag capacity are doubled by the Minotaur's ring. So
Yep. Go ahead and give
the
me
amount that I can shove this door is doubled.
Oh yeah. This is a door that's designed to keep the entire pressure of the ocean out if the tunnel on the other side collapses.
Yeah.
You're not strong enough to just yank it open. Yes, Mara.
I know.
I want to cast what's it called?
Ithram, go and give me a
Wall
athletics
of
check.
water between this siege engine. I just keep calling it that.
The siege engine's fine. That's what it is.
And Skuzz and Ithram straggling behind.
Well, Ithram is behind you guys heading towards the door. Skuzz is running towards the door, or running towards the robot.
I'm already at the door, but like if it's range of 60 feet, I basically want to block that thing from being able to aim. It's gonna put out fires. It'll make it harder for ranged things to hit through it.
Yeah, so you a wall of water just erupts. Ithram gets in on trying to open the door, and it inches up a little bit further. You can hear the mechanics inside the door straining. It sounds like it failed closed, so it just sort of locked itself. It wasn't intended to be opened again. Proper is doing its best to actually get it to unlock, and you are just sort of pulling it.
Drummond is helping, or whatever.
We athletics check.
I can hold this for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Skuzz, are you still running towards the castle?
I'm gonna pop my.
Yes.
I put the water in between you two.
I know.
Okay, it's gonna put your fire out at least. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, Grumman, you're on it too. Skuzz.
I have my extra arms out. I don't know if you heard me.
Yeah, I heard you. Go ahead and the three of you that are trying to pry the door open, give me another athletics check. Skuzz, you dive through the water. Your fire is doused.
Guidance.
Yep.
Use it on yourself.
Yeah, Skuzz undouses himself, and he continues to dash towards the robot. I think at this point, with the robot stomping towards them and Rogue dashing towards the robot, I think at some point Skuzz and the robot do meet up if we're going by 120 feet.
You're definitely inside its cannon fire range right now.
Great! Can Skuzz be inside the robot?
Make a perception check.
That was a persuasion check.
That was a persuasion check.
Oh, wow. I'm dumb. Sorry.
I mean, consent is important.
Can I be inside of you, please? And thank you. 27.
With that 26, 22, and that 17, the three of you managed to wrench it open just enough that somebody can squeeze through.
In.
And you're gonna have to hold it there so people can get through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll back up. I can keep concentrating on this thing. I don't have to stay within range.
Gen's gonna dive through there because he thinks if he can get on the other side, he might be able to Tinker's Tools this thing open.
All right. Skuzz, looking around, there doesn't seem to be a very clear way to get into it.
Skuzz is a ghost.
Yes. No, there's no clear way to get into it. And you try to just sort of like phase through part of it, and you cannot.
It is magically warded.
Oh, like he can't even get...
You can't pass through it at all. Like you touch it and your hand does not go through.
Okay.
You do, however, notice that from underneath the torso area, 3 holes open up and 3 like long metal rods that have fire at the tips come out. I need you to make another dexterity saving throw.
All right. I'm reading what you're putting down. 27.
As a literal flaming asshole.
No. I'm reading that the DM is like, this is a thing you can't fight, and it's like, it's fine. Wanted to see if Scuzz could get inside of it and muck it around a little bit, but no.
Make an Arcana check while you're touching it.
You just say, yeah, you can't fucks with it, Scuzz.
So, well, what you realize that, yeah, it's been...
That's a lot of 27s in a row. That's weird.
It's been magically warded. Specifically, it is present on the ethereal plane, as well as the material, which is why you can't get through it. You can't... There's no way to phase through it. Even a ghost couldn't like an actual, like, dead ghost could not phase through this thing.
Give me a second, John. If I get hit one more time, I will be a regular-ass dead ghost.
All right, 27 is a success. So you evade the fight. You evade the flamethrower entirely.
Great. Scuzz is like, he's like, okay. I feel like I've been a sufficient enough distraction. I hope you got that door open.
Get me and take your stool check.
Scuzz is running.
Okay. Intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay. 29.
With 29, yeah, no, you, on the other side of it, you're able to find the locking mechanism, and you sort of like depressurize it, and as it does, the pressure that's being applied to it just slams it open, and there's a cracking sound as the glass in the tunnel begins to fracture from the force of the doors being thrown wide.
We're too strong.
No, too strong. Too stroided.
We need to run, everybody. Get here now. This is across the mind link. I don't care what you're doing.
Back up. Still holding it.
I'm coming.
All right, Scuzz.
And Gent's gonna just run if he's got any movement left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming everyone starts running in the tunnel. Scuzz, the last one on that side.
Scuzz is going to dash towards one of the buildings.
Okay.
Trying to get the robot's attention as he dashes towards one of the buildings, and he is going to attack one of the doors here, one of the signs, anything that is wooden that he can see with bookmark, and cast Green Flame. Just try to make a distraction for the robot, whatever, to look at as he.
Okay. Because you're diving into cover, you only need to make 3 dexterity saving throws.
Yeah.
As the other 3 cannons will hit the building instead.
Yeah.
Oh, Scuzz.
Yeah, I've been trying to kill off Scuzz for a while now. It's fine.
2 successes, 1 failure.
I'm all out of my inspiration and lucky.
So you're really trying.
I'm trying very hard.
So 44 points of bludgeoning damage.
Have the 22.
Have 22. As the other 5 cannonballs all smash into the building, and it begins to crumble around you. But you manage to light some of the rubble on fire, and I assume you're continuing on towards the door.
Yep.
All right. So you all get into the tunnel and run. The sound of this machine coming after you. The sound of glass around beginning to fracture further as the impact of that door is spreading. You've got.
We still have 24 hours of water breathing because it hasn't been that long.
Correct.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
You've got.
Grumman is waiting.
You've got what? Waiting where?
Inside the door.
Okay. Scuzz is running past you.
Oh, well, obviously as soon as Scuzz reaches us, we're going.
Okay, cool. You've got about what looks like 100 feet of tunnel.
Is the door closed on the other side?
Much lower. The door is closed on the other side. And the other door doesn't look like it's going to close.
Can I use control water to relieve some of this pressure? Basically,
Yeah.
it's a up to 100 feet on each side. I don't know how long this thing is, but basically try and like relieve the pressure around us. I'm trying to hold back the sea.
Yeah.
I'm imagining you like doing literally like a
From the
ring
tube.
around
Yeah,
us
you can,
and
like,
just
yeah.
like
Push
Pretty
a little bit
much.
on. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I am doing that.
All right.
Oh,
So
it's a time. Moses.
the rest of you, what are you doing as you're running down this tunnel?
Running.
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 Scuzz tells everybody, by the way, that thing cannot be possessed by ghosts. I just, in case anybody wanted to try that, don't do it.
To be clear, we are not yet at a place of safety.
Correct.
Who said
Yes,
that?
We are
We're
still
not.
We're
running.
still running.
Close.
Then
Yep.
We're still running.
All right. So
Yes.
you continue
You're
to
still
run.
invisible, right?
Yeah.
Is it invisible? Yeah.
It gets to the door. Who is tailing the pack?
Scuzz and Grummond?
Yeah.
All right, I need both of you to make the
Y'all are faster than ever. You got. It depends on how fast you're running, because y'all are
Yeah.
faster.
Y'all
than
were
anyone
booking
else.
it though, and y'all.
If Titania had to cast control water, she's no longer wild shaped because she had to. Actually,
Yeah.
no, you're the level of druid when you can cast it.
All the time. Anytime
yeah.
I want. I could be anything. It's great.
I could be anything.
Ta-da!
Ithram would probably be near the back because he knows he can't cast any magic right now, and also yanking that second door open is just gonna give us the same problem as yanking the first door open. So
If he's staying near the
people
back,
first.
Vespia's going to stay near him
Well,
because she's concerned about him right now.
Well,
A small clump of you walking slowly at the back of the
we're
group.
not walking slowly, but yeah,
running slowly.
making
so
sure the
we'll
people
say-
that can actually unlock the door
We'll say
get there
Grummond and
first.
Scuzz sort of reach the back end at this point. So Ithram, Vespia, Scuzz, and Grummond, dexterity saving throws.
How many? One? Uno?
1. As it gets to the door, another.
You bitch! You fucking son of a
Oh,
bitch!
I don't have advantage, so that's a 15.
Another, like, you watch as there is another, like, iris part of the machine. The only way I can describe it is at its taint. Iris is open. And
You had other
How
options.
can you even see us
another
if it's
option.
there?
Cannon.
drops down
That wasn't the only
this
way.
large cylindrical device that is lit up with electricity as it is charging some sort of magical cannon. That
Ah, yes, the Thundercock.
The thunder.
it is called a thunder cannon. Yes,
the thunder puss.
Thunder.
that just explodes. This massively loud attack that has sort of electricity and thunder mixed in it. As it flies towards you, the already weakened glass at the far end shatters and water begins to pour into the tunnel at that end. Let's see. 13, natural 20, 13. Oh wait, did you not have advantage, Ithram?
No, I didn't, so it's a 15.
13, 15, 13. So Grummond, you're the only one with a successful save.
Oh, boy.
Is there? I don't know what this effect is. If it's from the like blast or if this is the water.
From the
So,
blast, I'm assuming.
yeah, it's from the blast.
Okay.
Ithram and Vespia take 46 points of thunder damage.
I'm fine.
Scuzz takes half of that,
Legitimately.
so 23.
I have a 23.
Grummond takes none of it. And the water just pours into the tunnel, immediately cutting off visual of the other hab as it begins flooding into the tunnel. Titania, if you're still maintaining your control water, you can stop it from flooding all the way to you.
Yes, I would like to. Yes.
Yeah. So, you are, for the moment, cut off from the other hab with just an insane amount of water pouring
So-
in but being stopped by Titania's magic.
For clarification, the hab that we are leaving from, we're
Correct.
cut off from.
Correct. You're cut off
Okay.
from. And in that precarious position, with a mount with an ocean's worth of water on one side and a locked door on the other, that's where we're going to leave for this week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.